Alright, welcome everyone to the County Union City regular meeting, August 11, 2025 at 6 p.m. Eastern prayer for us.
Lord, we thank you for this day. We thank you for this time of fellowship, Lord, where we come together on behalf of our community. May you be with us to help guide us and direct us, and may we make best decisions on behalf of our community and the members. We ask that you be with everyone as they go home this evening and keep everyone safe. In Christ we pray. Amen.
Amen. Chad?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
Bob McGregor.
Present.
Ryan Dawson.
Here.
Keith Dennis.
Here.
Chad Smith.
Here.
James Smith.
Here.
Call to order at 6:01.
And I'm fast. Alright, number 5, consent agenda items, all matters listed under consent are considered the County Union City Board of Trustees to be routine and will be enacted by one motion. Any Board of Trustees member may, however, remove an item from the consent agenda by request. So I have a motion for 5A, B, C, D, and E.
Make a motion we approve agenda item 5.
I have a motion, do I have a second?
Second.
Motion and second, all those in favor? Aye. Number 6, correspondence from citizens, no action. Financial reports. Regular monthly financial reports for all funds are provided to the Board of Trustees for review and information by the Union City Treasurer, Michelle Burns. Should I be having you read this part out?
Nope.
At the close of business July 31st, 2025, the bank balances are as follows. ARPA's at 0, capital improvement bank first at $216,571.62. Capital improvement First National is at $221,650.52. Community events at $6,487.61. Federal asset forfeiture $16,199.69. The general fund has $172,922.82. REAP grants empty state and asset forfeiture is at $6,026.71. Street and alley at $15,403.87. Traffic bond refund at $42,989.48. Union City Municipal Authority at $585,436.43. Municipal deposit funds at $56,983.50. UCPD community projects at $4,590.83. Union City Dispatch at $12,088.27. Union City Fire Department is at $413,690.28. Union City Police Department at $235,212.24. Total amount of funds accessible to the town of Union City is $2,006,253.87.
Perfect.
There we go. Alright, speaker, Kimberly Burke.
Yep.
Let's talk about number 8, audit 721 to 622.
All right. Hello. Nice to see you again. It's been a while.
Yep.
Yeah.
To you.
Yeah. Okay. So what you've got in front of you is 2022.
Awesome.
Dog, I know. We're making progress.
Love progress.
Define progress.
We're making progress. Okay. Open up the front page of the letter. Right after the table of contents. Okay. Since it's been 6 months since I've been here, let me tell you what's going on. You got 3 grades of auditing. You have an unqualified opinion, which is a grade of an A, a qualified opinion, which is a grade of a C, or an adverse opinion, a grade of an F. And as you can see right there on the very first page, you have a grade of an F, adverse opinion. Let's talk about why. If you look right there in the 3rd paragraph on this report, underneath this title, Basis for Adverse Opinion, it says management was not able to present financial statements that are free from material misstatements. During the course of our audit, it was discovered that documentation to substantiate expenses, cash reconciliations. Hey, did you miss a page?
I don't have that.
I don't have that page either.
You don't have the page? Heads are
I
on
know
a
somebody I'm
roll.
giving an F to.
My new assistant's gonna get an F, I can tell you you that.
Talk about things missing.
Woo.
If you guys need something that's coming, I can share. No?
It's okay.
Okay. Oh, and yeah, can I take this back so Hex can roll tomorrow?
Yeah, F.
Okay.
F on it.
F on my newest
They
business.
failed.
All
Well,
right.
the mayor gave it an F.
I'm old. She's been with me for 5 days. Today's number 6. She's not gonna have a bad number 7 day, isn't she? Let's go back to this page and start all over.
Thank you.
Okay. So go right here to basis for adverse opinion, third paragraph on this page. Management was not able to present financial statements that are free from material misstatements. During the course of our audit, it was discovered that documentation to substantiate expenses, cash reconciliations, payroll, and capital assets could not be reasonably acquired. Therefore, we are unable to place reliance on any of the financial information presented in this report. That's pretty bad.
That's the same as obviously all the previous ones.
Yeah, but it's a little worse.
Okay.
So we're gonna kind of, since the numbers are not very good, we're gonna kind of jump all the way back. Hopefully you got this page, otherwise I'm gonna be embarrassed again. So all the way to page 32. It should say up at the top, schedule of findings and responses 2022-3 on the bottom of page 32. Yep. We're getting close. Got it. Okay. So here, this is where the lack of documentation is a repeat finding, but it's actually worse than it was in 2021. Okay. So here's all the list of the things that we tried to search but could not get. Let's talk with the first one. Capital assets. No listing of capital assets was properly maintained by the town during the year for either the government or the municipal authority. Now, your assets are your trucks, your mowers, your backhoes.
And not to interrupt you,
Stuff.
but,
Go for it.
this was on the previous ones.
Mhm.
And then when talking to our, police chief and fire chief,
Uh-huh.
and forgive me if I'm out of line, y'all correct me if I'm wrong,
Sure.
neither one of them have been asked to provide you with the list that they track. Is that correct? So they have lists, and have you asked them for those lists at any given time? Because I'm trying to figure out where the
Michelle. In
I'm
her
trying to figure out
office.
where the communication back, you know,
Right, we asked
Break down
Michelle in
list.
her office for the list.
Well, because I have the list that they
For
have.
this time frame?
They have the list. So when it was asked of me, I said they have those lists.
Okay.
Yeah.
because this came up after you had left
Yeah,
last
yeah,
time,
yeah.
and there was frustration.
Yeah.
Because I had brought up a couple more times
Sure.
that we need to, and we did put it on the agenda, and we have, I wouldn't say the speed that it should be done, but we've been looking at different asset,
Mhm.
tracking options, and both of
Yeah.
these guys keep reiterating to us that they have lists, and that they track all of those things already, and that, you know, we just need to make it more formal, because they just have their two independent lists.
Right.
And so,
Now, list.
I'm frustrated because this is on the report, and if this is the final report, and then they have these lists, and they've never been asked for them, then I mean, right off the bat, we have, you know,
Absolutely.
false information.
Now, the list is as of 2022. A list created when we started this process is not a 22 list. That list that is created when we started this process is a when did we start this? 24? 23?
Mhm.
So a list that we started in, when we first came out for audit, if you created a list at that time frame, does not cover this period.
Okay, and so,
And maybe that's the
you took-
difference.
Chief Stevens passed away, and you took over what day? I'm just trying, so in January of 22, okay.
Okay.
And then, he was already here. So, did Chief Stevens already have a list of those things as well?
I mean, I had already created that prior.
Prior to?
It's a rolling list, so.
Yeah.
What she's saying is accurate, but if we got rid of something, it was removed from the list.
Right, so a list as of June 30, 2022 did not exist. Now, there is current list, absolutely, I'm not saying there's not, but we have to have a list as of June 2022. We have to have a list of, this is where we started at July 1 of 21, and this is where we started at June 30th, 22, and these are the additions and these are the subtractions. And that's the kind of list we're looking for.
Now, you've been with us now getting close to a year, or right past a
Oh,
year at this
yeah.
point. Okay, so,
Mhm.
would you be able to say that, and, cause you haven't audited those years yet,
Right.
are they, for the last year since you've been here,
Mhm.
do they have the information that you will need to make sure that this is, like, at some point, this stuff has to
Right.
fix?
As-
And so,
yeah,
you
exactly.
came on board what year?
November of 22.
Okay,
Okay.
so we're getting into that year
Mhm.
where things start to get better organized and things start to
They are getting better.
hopefully
Kind of.
change, there's some major changes as far as some of this stuff goes.
Absolutely.
So, cause I'm assuming, even though you're behind, listen, we are behind as a town
Mhm.
on our audits,
Mhm.
they are providing you stuff quarterly, currently, to make sure that we're doing things correct now?
No. We've been focusing on getting these back years done. Now,
Okay.
we have fielded questions. As questions come up, we're fielding the questions.
Okay.
And Michelle's doing, from our very first initial contact forward, Michelle's been doing things right. She got the payroll under control, she's got the payroll taxes being handled correctly now.
Mhm.
A lot of good things have happened since that initial conversation. But, as of this timeframe, no, the records are
Okay,
not
I just wanted to
good.
ask those questions, because on the backside, I wanna make sure that these guys,
Yeah.
let's say from 2023
Ish.
on, or 2024 on, that
Mhm.
this has been corrected.
I'm hoping so.
Okay,
We haven't gotten there yet.
okay,
I hope so.
okay.
But I'm assuming there would be. I would assume there would be, yeah, absolutely. Because, again, from the time, I know Chief's taken over, he's kept track of ins and outs, definitely. And I haven't gotten to the fire department, so I don't know. And the public works, I don't know.
Well, the
where
fire
that's at.
department, we still have some stuff we had in World War
That's fine, yeah. But as long as you have a listing and value of what you have, and being able to track what went off and what went on, and giving me an ending figure, then that will get solved. But as of this timeframe, no, not solved.
Yeah, no, I'm not trying to point the finger at anyone,
No,
I'm
you're
trying to
fine.
figure out where the breakdown in
Absolutely,
communication is.
no, this is totally fine. Another thing that we have problems with is your bank reconciliations. If you notice, on these bank accounts that are listed in that second bullet section, these are the bank reconciliations that we were missing. Now, just to remind you what a bank reconciliation report is, it's where you take the bank statement and the financial statements and you balance them. It's like balancing your checkbook. And it produces a report. And we as auditors like to look at that report because it tells us all kinds of things, okay? So in the capital improvement fund, all 12 months were missing. We couldn't find a single bank reconciliation. For the capital improvement fund, 9 months of reports was missing for the fourth theft, 9 months was missing for the municipal authority, 8 months was missing for the municipal deposit fund, all 12 months was missing for street and alley fund, 11 months of reports was missing for traffic bond and refund, all 12 months was missing for the following funds: CDBG, home grant, REAP, the sinking fund, and the special project fund.
Basically all of our funds.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
General fund,
So,
though, we have those.
Where's the sinking funds? We don't even have that anymore, do we?
No.
See?
But at this
Kind of
time,
like-
at this time when Elaine was, covering all of that stuff, did she even know that this was something that had to be done?
Oh, yeah, it's basic accounting.
But she had no, I mean, I'm not being
No,
speaking,
but,
I'm saying, like, these individuals were elected and they had to come from within our town limits, and she had, I mean, to my knowledge, zero accounting education whatsoever.
well,
So,
but it's balancing your checkbook. So, we all live at home, and back in the day, we didn't have online
yeah,
banking.
I know what this stuff is, I'm saying,
Yeah,
did
yeah.
she, you know?
I would assume so. I would
Yeah.
assume so, because general funds were all there.
Yeah.
So why would you balance one checkbook, the general fund account? Or why would you balance sporadic ones?
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense. I think the records are just missing. I don't think she didn't do it. I think you just didn't keep your records. That's truly what I think. Now, other lessons, or documentation that was missing, let's go payroll liability. 941 is the tax form when you recap your payroll and recap your expenses, or your payroll taxes, and send it to the government. And could not locate it for either government or municipality, or municipal authority for fourth quarter 21, first and second quarter 22. So you could only find 1 out of 4 reports for the payroll department, and that's something you need to keep forever.
Why are we not allowed to, in my line of work,
Mhm.
I can leave a company,
Sure.
and because I'm a, contracted employee,
Yeah.
and I have agreements with the company I work for, they can hold me accountable for things even after I've left. And so, or was there any power that the community has to bring these individuals back in through the auditor and have them questioned by the auditor?
You can, but usually, they're not gonna know where the records are. Now, you would have to ask your attorney, but I can tell you straight up, the district attorney is not going to take a case unless it's airtight and can pinpoint one person for embezzlement. Being sloppy record keeping, district attorney's not gonna mess with it.
Yeah.
He doesn't have time. And again, I'm not an attorney, and your attorney can vouch for that, but there's not much you can do at this point, because we can't prove money's missing. Okay.
Sorry, Tom, your pogo stick fell.
That's okay.
All right, so now to the expenses. In the general fund, we tested 22 transactions, 5 of those did not have documentation. On the municipal authority, we tested 48 transactions, 12 did not have any documentation, and 3 were not authorized. On the police fund, we tested 32 transactions, and 4 did not have documentation. On the fire department, we tested 14 transactions, and 1 did not have documentation. On the next page.
Hold on, I got a question.
Sure.
3 transactions were not signed by the purchasing officer for approval.
Correct.
Do y'all keep copies of that, or so we know what was purchased and
Oh,
what?
I can tell you, yeah, I can go back to the office and tell you what was purchased and not authorized.
I'd be interested to know.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. On the street and alley fund, now, some of these other funds are smaller, that's why the number of what we selected is smaller. Street and alley fund, we tested 6 transactions, 1 was not approved, was not signed by the purchasing officer. The fourth best fund, 6 transactions were tested, 3 did not have documentation. On citations, 780 citations were tested, including 587 payments. 15 of those citations did not have documentation. 138 of those 587 payments could not be traced to a deposit. 56 payments were not tracked on the citation. So if you take 138 plus 56, that's the number of payments we can't find. Oh, there you go. And 168 of the payments did not have receipt for the payment. So let's kind of recap that. We tested 587 payments for citations. 138 of them, we could not find it in the bank account. 56 of them did not have notations on the citation that it was paid. That's what y'all do. When y'all have a citation and somebody pays it, you make notes on the citation that it was paid. So 56 of the 780 did not indicate they were paid. 168 of the 587 payments did not have a receipt in your system. So they were marked paid, but the money didn't hit the account. We could not find where the money hit the account, and we could not find where receipts were written.
So it just disappeared.
It's the same as last time, Bob. And then
It's
it's
a
like,
number for work.
I feel helpless from here, because it's like you learn about this for the first time.
Mhm.
And I have absolutely, as a 1/5 vote, and even this board, to my best of my knowledge, there's 0 we can do to fix this issue, or go back and
fix this, yeah.
this issue.
And that's kind of what took so long.
Everything about this and the previous ones, all, it just screams embezzlement at the highest level, and there's absolutely nothing we can do.
Right, 'cause there's no records to prove what the amount should have been. Now, we're gonna get into the numbers in a minute, but those are the main reasons why you got as great of an F, is
But
because of your
this is enough
documentation.
money that, like, I don't care if it's the FBI or who it is, should be able to start subpoenaing these people, or digging into their personal bank accounts and looking at their personal lives to find out, was there anything out of the ordinary?
And see, that's where you'll have to take the case with the assistance of your attorney to the district attorney. I don't have that power to go in
But
and.
you're telling me unless I have solid evidence on one single person, I'm wasting my time.
Pretty much, yeah. I deal with a lot of embezzlement cases, a lot. And unless it's clear cut on who did it, and you can quantify that number, the district attorney doesn't have time to mess with it. And he's not gonna take it. And I've been in lots of different counties. The counties, the towns that I can publicly talk about is, we have Bryan, we have Lone Wolf, we have Apache, we have Carnegie, we have Fort Cox, we have Ukite, we have Verdon, we have Mountain View.
It's every town around here.
Pretty much, yeah. So I have 8.
It's absolutely beyond
I have
my
8 towns that I really highly suspect, and a fairgrounds that I'm not gonna say, 'cause it's not can't prove anything on it, but I suspect it really hard. So I got 9 places that I can't prove without a shadow of a doubt one person did it. Town of Bryan, they threw such a stink to that district attorney, he took her to court, and she pled guilty. But they didn't have enough evidence on her. Ellick, town of Ellick also. The gal posted pictures of her in a Harley-Davidson t-shirt at Mount Rushmore next to her auditor. And there's a credit card charge on that exact same day to the Mount Rush Harley-Davidson store. And the district attorney would not pick it up. So I can't speak.
So if you wanna steal from local governments, go ahead, because you're not gonna get in trouble for doing it.
Yeah, so
That's the message that's being sent.
pretty much. I mean, you're welcome to reach out to your district attorney, and I will provide, and I don't mind testifying. That's not I don't care. But I'm just saying, more than likely you won't. But anyways, that lack of documentation is the main reason for the adverse opinion, is because if you notice, every section of your report that we're gonna dive into could not be substantiated. Okay?
Let me ask you this.
Sure.
Out of all those citations that no deposits, what was the number on that? What'd that add up to?
I can get you that number. I don't have it in the report. But that's one reason why this job took us 6 months, is because we kept trying to get your citations. More citations were found, so we came back out and to look, and we came out a lot. And we dug through a lot. I mean, 780 citations is a lot. Trying to see if we could quantify something. And then finally we gave up. Just absolutely just honestly gave up. Okay. So, with that being said, let's kind of go talk about your numbers, so you know which numbers not to trust in this report. Let's go to page 4. Page 4, it has at the top, statement of net position, modified cash basis. Now, again, every single number in here, I place zero assurance on it. Do you have a page 4?
Yep.
Okay, good, okay. All right. So, I don't trust on page 4, let's just kind of go over this. This right in the middle of the page, payroll liabilities. If you notice in the governmental activities column, it says that you owe IRS and Oklahoma Tax Commission $511,000. I don't believe that number's right, but I don't know what the correct number is because we're missing those reports. Okay? And then in the municipal authority, it shows that your payroll taxes are $146,000, right here in the middle of the page. Again, we don't trust that number because we didn't have the reports. But according to your financial statements, that's what you told us your number was. Okay? So let's kind of see how that number grew. So go to page 25. On page 25, you can see how that number grew. Now, normally, we would show you payments, additional taxes minus payments, right? So at the top of page 25, you can see how those numbers grew. We could not find where you made payments. So it started the year in the governmental fund of $376,000. Y'all added $134,000 to it, and so that ended your payroll liability to be $511,000. And then you can see the municipal authority started at $115,000, added $31,000 of payroll taxes to it, and ended the year at $146,000. We could not find payments. But let me tell you, I think you have, because have you been getting nasty gram letters?
No.
Not really. And you've been turning in your report.
I got a whole binder full. And they've given us back a lot.
Good.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of it's kind of going the other way.
Good.
But I don't know, I know some of what you're talking about is on point, but I think since I came in and
Started cleaning it up.
and showed effort and and explained to them my situation, they've been allowing me to just continue to send them what I have, do 941, schedule leave form,
Yeah.
and send it to them. So we haven't had a lot of, the nasty grams haven't come really.
There you go. So we know this number's not right, but we don't know what the number is. Because you'd be getting nasty grams. You have an agent at your doorstep if you really owe almost $750,000. But again,
sometimes we pay it still with a letter.
Yeah, IRS is IRS. Yeah. So, we don't trust
What is the,
those
so,
numbers. Mhm.
let's say we did owe that money,
Sure.
and they haven't requested it, obviously, to date.
Mhm.
Is there like a 7-year rule or a
No.
5-year rule, or
No.
with government, with townships or whatever, they can come back after that money at any time?
So what happens is, there's a 10-year statute of limitations for the IRS.
Okay.
Once that report's filed, whether it's a payroll tax report, an income tax return, whenever that return is filed, your statute of limitations for 10 years starts. So if you file the reports late, then your statute of limitations is late, okay? But if you file.
10 years from the date you, so this
10 years
one,
from
will
the
be
date
10 years
of
from the day
filing.
that you filed it.
The 941 report's filed, not the audit report.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so when that payroll tax report is filed and sent to the government, if it's on time, then your statute of limitations started back in 22. If it wasn't filed until Michelle got here and started cleaning things up, then your statute of limitations started probably 24.
Aren't you able to go and pull those?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And they're all already filed?
No, because Michelle's in the process of doing this, and they're not showing up in the system. So we can't see that it's processed, we can see something's been filed, but we don't have it until it's processed. IRS doesn't start that statute of limitations. So, the tax.
So what all years have not been filed?
I will have to get back to you on that. I don't have that in this report. But let's kind of go back to if IRS forgives this tax. 10 years after this tax is charged to you, because you filed the report, it just drops off your account. You don't owe anymore. But if it's called, oh my gosh, I just went blank. Oh my gosh,
You want me to tell you what you're looking for?
what's the word I'm looking for?
I don't have a clue.
Gosh, I just, it's trust fund penalty, thank you, okay. So if you're charged with a trust fund penalty, right, the trust fund penalty is where you took your employee's money out of your check and you didn't mail it off to the government. Now, whether you are a small town or a business owner, you have that legal obligation, if you take the money out of your employee's check, to send it off to IRS and Oklahoma Tax Commission. You have to. If an IRS agent comes in and charges a trust fund penalty for not submitting your payroll taxes, they're going to look at who was financially responsible for submitting that tax. Okay? Now, they can come out after Michelle and her position, or they can come after you, the council, because y'all had a legal obligation to ensure that it was done. Now, you have not been charged with trust fund penalty. Trust fund penalty is attached to you individually. It's not to you as the trustee in District 1, I don't even know what your district is, but you know what I'm saying. Not to trustee District 1, it's assigned to Keith or James, the individual person. And you have not been charged with that. So that's a good thing. And as long as Michelle's in good graces with the IRS by communicating, filing, paying, more than likely, you will not get charged trust fund penalty. So that's a good thing. When I first met with you guys, I told
But I'm
you.
just blown away, because we should be able to go back and look at what amount was taken from those employees, and then the state and or the IRS should know what amount that we sent in.
What makes it, if I might.
Go for it, please.
What makes it hard is before I got here, it wasn't being done on a portal. When I got here, I already knew how to do it. I knew on the portal I could go pay those things, so I could always prove that it got paid.
Yep.
It's OK Tap and IRS, but before I got here, Elaine didn't pay it on a portal. She was mailing in stuff, and I don't know how to prove.
Yeah.
First of all, I don't know how to prove what came out, what should have come from payroll.
Banks have to keep that information, don't they?
If we have those bank reconciliation reports that we're missing, if we have those, we could look.
Yeah, but I can go to Peter for the credit union right now and go back 6 years and get all
You
my
could.
entire account.
Sure can. Yeah.
Now, the interesting thing, to answer that one too, is when you use the portal, it literally comes across on the bank account as IRS 941 payment. I mean, it's real clear what it is.
Very clear.
If you're sending in a check, it's not quite as clear, you have to dig. whereas the other, but to assure all of you, before you get really scared, since I've been here, it's been paid.
It's been, she's been
We
doing it
are not
right.
gonna be charged for the truck.
Yeah.
Because it's been paid and I can prove it and they know it. I've already sent everything, my payments without fail are on the portal. So they knew right where to look for that to get, so don't worry about that, that's not gonna happen.
Yeah, since Michelle's taken over your payroll, she's done an excellent job of getting you, because there was an error when we first came in. We said, look, you're kind of doing it a little wrong, fix it, start paying those back taxes. And that's what she's been working on. So the chances of you being charged with the trust fund penalty here a year later is probably not gonna happen. A year ago, I wasn't sure. Yeah. But again, it goes back to not having the records to substantiate the records.
I'd love to have that conversation with somebody, the way this whole thing's structured.
Okay, so we basically can't, going back to page 4, you can't really trust those numbers there in the liability section as to, do we owe these payroll taxes or not? I have no idea on page 4. Okay. Now, go to page 5. We kind of feel like this is the correct number, so I'm gonna point it out just because I kind of feel like it's right. But again, we could not substantiate your expenses. But on page 5, it talks about what it costs to run your town for a year. Now, from July 1 of 21 through June 30 of 22, it cost your town $3,157,000 to run. Provided all the receipts were properly authorized and which were things that you were supposed to have, that is the correct number. So I feel really actually kind of good about that number. Okay? Now, you charged your citizens, again, I don't trust this number because of all the missing citation payments, but according to what we were provided, charges for services, you charged your citizens $1,505,000, that second column. As you can see, majority of that number is citations that we could not trace to your bank account. So I don't know if that's a good number or not. Now, there's a lot happening in this report, but I want to kind of point you out to the last column of numbers, the fourth number from the bottom. It's a negative $132,035. What's that? Yeah, last column, fourth number from the bottom. Negative 132. Okay. Now, if we're in business, we know about profit and loss statements, right? Income in, expenses going out, what's left over. And according to the numbers we were provided, you would have lost $132,000 for the year. Now, here's the wonky thing, and I say wonky because I don't know what else to say. We couldn't balance. We could not balance your financial statements. What should have happened is your June 30, 21 numbers should have been your July 1, 21 numbers. It's just literally 24 hours later. And then life happens, ins and outs. Income expenses flowing through your bank accounts, right? But we couldn't balance. The numbers didn't balance. So we had to just plug. And I don't like plugging, but that's what it was, a prior period adjustment, because we couldn't figure out what happened to this $46,000 of income. You were supposed to have $46,000 of income, but we couldn't figure out where it is.
And it just disappeared from one day to the next.
Yeah, so we just
But
plugged
as a
it.
general statement, I mean, our bank accounts have grown almost every year since most of us have been here.
It
I
sure
think a
is.
lot of, with the accounting stuff, and
Yeah.
correct me if I'm wrong, a lot of it had to do with the way we were accounting for suites. And whenever Jonathan, whenever I was speaking with him about it, like, it was completely wrong. So I kinda helped with getting the suites out of being income and expenses and largest transfers instead, and in that time frame, there was so many things that were double entry, missing completely, that didn't transfer over from the bank, from the upload from the bank to QuickBooks, and there was a lot missing in that time frame.
So
And
the
it's not, physical, someone taking money, it's completely in the computer, like, between the bank and QuickBooks and how it was being tracked.
So it's numbers not balancing. So basically, you have a sweep account, current day. Money goes into your account, it sweeps out to your high investment account, right? The bank just kind of pulls it out, sticks it over here, and it hangs out over here earning interest until you need it again, and then the bank puts it back in there, and the bank does it automatically, right? It's beautiful. But the way you account for it in QuickBooks is you transfer it out, you transfer it in. That's the way it's supposed to be. It's not supposed to show as an expense going out and income coming in. It's not supposed to do that, and that's what she was talking about. It's supposed to be transferred. Well, we haven't gotten to that year yet. We're still back in 22. So I don't know if money's missing. I just know your accounting would not balance. Because if your records were there, then I could say with certainty money's missing or money's not missing. But without the records, I just know you didn't balance. So I had a flood to the tune of $46,000.
I still question how you, overnight, it has a $50,000 difference.
So,
That sounds like a $50,000 sweep.
I don't know.
It's a good day.
So keep in mind your accounting. So, right now, when Michelle took over, she did a great job of going and saying, okay, are these numbers right? Let me make sure these numbers are right from the point she could forward. We're actually dealing backwards stuff when your accounting was not very well taken care of, your records obviously are not taken care of, so we can't fix your numbers because we don't have the documentation. Usually in an audit, we look at your numbers and we're like, oh, that one's wrong, or that one's wrong. And so that's why we started asking for stuff, because we want to fix your numbers for you.
It was so bad when we first got here, you couldn't even get balances of your bank accounts when you came to a board meeting.
Right.
Like, it was that bad.
Right, yeah, yeah. And we're gonna look at something else. Go to page 6. Look on page 6. Again, we're using your numbers, and if we made corrections to your numbers for what we could do, but if there was no records, we can't fix your numbers. And I'm gonna tell you to be super transparent. That first column, the second number from the top, that negative 127, it should not be negative. But we could not substantiate and correct that number. But we know it's wrong. It should not be negative. It says you overpaid your payroll liabilities. What? You didn't overpay your payment liabilities. We couldn't find payment. What happened was, when we do your audit, we ask for financial reports. We ask for numbers. Your bank accounts, your liabilities, your income, your expenses. The whole thing.
Yeah. But you're asking for that information from these employees.
Correct.
You're not going to the bank.
No, sir, we don't have authorization to. We only verify your bank balance at the end of the year from the bank. We
With my
expect.
CPA though, I can turn over power of attorney and he can access any of that stuff I
You're a
want to.
business, not a town. Different. You're a business, not a town.
But as the auditor,
Mhm.
I'm just saying, as a community member,
Sure.
I want my auditor to have access to the town's bank accounts. Why would I not want that?
Because we have to be independent. This is a huge button. Back when I first became an auditor, a long time ago, I could come in and help the town fix their books and make them right in accordance to generally accepted accounting principles and governmental auditing standards. I could help them. And then I can come over here and put on my auditor hat and audit their books. I can help them make suggestions.
I don't give my CPA power to make any changes or do anything with he has the power to view my account.
Correct. Now, let me keep going. We can only adjust numbers if we have the data as an auditor. We cannot come in here and say, give me your checkbook, let me redo your bank reconciliation from scratch and find all your problems. We can't do that because then as an auditor, we can't audit our own work. We can only say, show us how you came up with this number, and we say, yep, that's right, no, that's not right, let's work together and fix that.
So
It's
moving
different.
forward, would it make it easier for everybody if one of us goes up to the bank and says, hey, I need to print out this entire year? There you go.
No, not really, because Michelle's been doing that since she got here. You have to remember, this is pre-Michelle, and the records we were given were inaccurate. And it's kind of like when you turn your test into the teacher at the end of class, you can't go back and say, hey, give me my test back, let me change my answer. That's kind of how it is with auditing. Once you give it to us, we're going to verify those numbers that were given to us. Yeah. Even when we can just visually look at it and go, that's wrong. We know it's wrong. But we say, prove to us what the number's supposed to be so we can fix it for you. You don't have those reports.
And you can't do it, but another person could do those things.
Correct, because they're not your auditor.
Right.
We have to be
No
independent.
conflict of interest.
Right, I can't do my own numbers. Now, if I was your business consultant, if I was your town consultant, boy howdy, I would have bankrupt this sucker all the way back to the first year that you didn't have an audit done on time. But I'm not your consultant. It's a big difference, because you still would have to have an auditor, and you don't have the records to even fix them if you could. We give journal entry adjustments for things that we can have records on. We don't have the records.
So going forward, we could have an accountant every month, reconcile our bank statements with everything, which is what these girls do anyway, but
Right.
that would be somebody that would check it in.
Correct. Right. Could dig in and say, there's something wrong, fix it.
And that's one to fix it rather than a year or 2 or 3
4 or 5
Well,
years.
hopefully, I mean, honestly, we want to get you caught up. We've been working on 23. I don't know how far we got.
And no offense to Michelle or anybody in the room, if we don't get to that point, this is the step we're gonna have to go.
Correct.
Something has to change.
Yeah, you have to get, my goal is to get you caught up.
Yeah.
So we have 23 we've been working on, we have 24, we have 25. 25 is not past due yet, it's due in December.
There's still time.
There's still time, it's only August. Yeah, there's still time. No, there is, because once Michelle got in here, the records are gonna get better. She's more organized. And honestly, a town of your size, we should come in 1 week or 1 day for planning, 3 days for field work, and then 4 days in the office, and we're done. It's wrapped up in 8 days. That's how it's supposed to happen.
Well, that isn't happening.
That is not, no. That brought me a really big check, and I'm
I
like,
guess where my
gosh,
frustration
this is-
continues to come from is I believe so supportedly that there was a lot of lack of education.
Could be.
Because of the way that it was designed, these individuals just did not know. And they were doing everything by hand, there was no software, there was anything that made that life easier for them.
Yeah.
And then on the flip to that, I do believe that there was mischief involved, it's just what level of that mischief was and the frustration of not being able to hold people accountable,
Yeah.
for them, I mean, obviously, every level of our government seems to have this problem, so.
Yeah.
I don't want my community members to think that this board is sweeping stuff under the rug.
No.
We've tried to be as transparent as we possibly can with this entire mess and fix it every which way we know how, including our latest of, changing the entire way we handle all of our buildings for, water, trash, everything. I mean, like, it's a continuous, but also they've moved forward a lot as far as education, right? So they've learned all these new software, they've learned all these things, and it's a continuous thing, but.
Absolutely, and they ask questions all the time.
Yeah.
Because now, we can't answer questions, kinda. If we can't answer the question, we can steer you where to go look, right? We can't quite answer you, but go look on publication 15 of the IRS website, or something. I mean, we can steer you, or call, OMAC, or call, OML. These different places that you could call and get advice if we can't answer
Are you
the
able
question.
to recommend a CPA for us to use if it gets to that?
If you get to that point, yes.
Okay.
But I say, don't get there yet, because I really believe they're doing okay.
Yeah.
We just gotta get to that year. We gotta get past this poopiness.
But it wouldn't be a bad thing to have one anyway, in case they have questions or.
They will, if I can't answer them because of independence, then I'll steer them in the right way. So far, we've answered all their questions. They haven't asked us.
And we'll also reiterate that if anybody in this room wants extended education on any of these things, I will do everything I can, and this board, I think, would agree that we would help you with that education, because education is power in a lot of ways, but.
Absolutely, yeah. So it's just getting past these years of bad stuff. Okay. So let's go and look at page 10. This is the municipal authority, and this is your income and page 10. Up at the top, it says statement of revenue, expenses, and changes in that position. This is your income statement, your P&L, your profit and loss. Back then, now mind you, 3 years ago, you had a loss, we're gonna look at the third number from the bottom, in your utility department of $184,000. $184,000. Now, we're gonna talk about that because, let's go to page 33. Page 33 is schedule of findings. And then, again, this is a repeat finding. You had this problem the prior year, is during the testing of citizens' bills for utilities, it was noted that proper shutoffs and late penalties were not being assessed. So maybe your revenue would have been higher had you charged your citizens cut-off fees and late fees. And maybe that 186 wouldn't have happened. Is the moral of that story. So, again, that got corrected when a change of personnel. Yeah, we know that. Okay. All right. So, back to page 10. Let's see what else I'm going to talk about. Okay. Again, these numbers are so old, so I don't see the point of showing you all these numbers.
Just to back up for 1 second.
Yeah,
Just to reiterate what you just said. We had individuals who were working here that were not enforcing late fees.
Correct.
And late payments.
And cutoffs. Yeah.
Okay. I just wanted to
Yeah,
make sure that-
letting people be late on their bill, letting people run up a balance, yeah, and not do anything about it.
And that
So,
cost us $185,000.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying I cannot substantiate what that number should have been. I'm just saying y'all had a problem.
Tens of thousands.
Well, I heard.
Sure, you can have that. I will not testify under oath on that, but you can think whatever you want. I don't care. Okay, so I do want to point out a few other things. Is, again, I mean, there's a lot of good stuff in here, but it's just really old data.
That's probably missing too, huh?
I'm sorry?
That's probably missing too, huh?
Yep. All right, so I want to point out. Okay, I'm going to point out page 21. 21, I'm going to tell you something positive, something good that happened. I know, I got good news, finally, good news, page 21. On page 21, this is where we tell you whether or not your money was secured by FDIC limits at the bank and that extra insurance that they have to provide counts, okay? If you have a number in column A, it was insured. If you have a number in column B, it's kind of insured. If you have a number in column C, it's not insured at all. So positive news, your money at $1.3 million on page 21 was fully insured. So the gal made sure you had proper insurance.
Let me ask you a question.
Sure, that's good news.
It is, maybe.
Maybe, okay, what do you got?
So they told us
Mhm.
that the FDIC would only cover up to $250,000.
Correct.
The only way they could insure the rest of it was through sweeps.
Kind of sure, kind of right. They're going out cheap. Let me tell you the true story. Okay, so FDIC gives you $250,000 per account. If you're an individual, you get $250,000, your wife would get $250,000, okay? If you had a savings account with your kid, you get another $250,000. It's not how it works for government. Government, whether it's a street account, general fund, municipal authority, the town as a whole gets $250,000 at that bank. Now, there's this thing called the collateral pledge. Banks have to pay for it. Banks have to tie up their money by taking a chunk of money and going over to another bank like Bank of Phoenix or Bank of Chicago.
That's what we've done with our capital improvement plan.
Right,
Yeah.
and they have to go and get this thing called the collateral pledge, where they actually take their money, which is yours, and go stick it over there. Now, it's gonna charge them, right? The bank will have to pay a fee for doing this. They don't wanna pay the fee, and they can't pass the fee to you guys, the government, right? Because you say, you charge me me a fee, I'm taking my 1.3 and moving on, so they're not gonna charge you it. So the way the banks get around it is they put it in a sweep. A sweep is not a bank account. A sweep, for accounting purposes, is an investment account. Okay? So basically what they do is, they pull your money out of the FDIC coverage account. It's called the demand account. It's a checking account or savings, it's a demand account. They pull it out of that and they stick it over here in this investment account that is secured by federal bonds, like savings bonds, federal savings bonds. Okay? Governments can own federal savings bonds because it's another government backing it, but it's not a checking account. And they can do that free. So, what they're going to do to entice you to do that is give you more interest on your money. Because it's sweeping out and it's buying these federal bonds, and then when you need the money, they're selling those bonds and sweeping it back in.
So for them, the win is the dog fees, for us, the win is the extra interest.
Correct. So they're going to incentivize you to do this because it saves them those fees, because if the fees are more expensive than the interest they're paying you. But it's not a bank account. So when we get to the sweep time frame, we do not consider it an account. We consider it an investment. So, hint, you need to have an investment policy before we get to those years. Hint, or you'll get in trouble. Hint, investment policy, right? Otherwise, you're going to get in trouble for not having a policy stating that you're allowed to invest the town's money into these federal bonds. Okay?
So we need to have a kind of policy.
Absolutely, before I get to that year.
Tom, did you hear that?
I did, yeah.
Okay.
I'm making notes.
So, that's a sweep account. So no, back then in 22, it was a traditional bank account. And you have the extra insurance. Now you're at Bank First, aren't you? Yep, Bank First does half the 70 out of 77 counties. Did you know that? This is 70 out of 77 counties. Bank First is making a killing. Anyways, they're encouraging everybody who uses Bank First to go to sweeps. Yeah. So does that answer the question?
It does.
Hot diggity. Okay.
That was a great job explaining.
By the way,
I've never heard
Bank
it explained
First
like
won't let us do sweeps if we only have one account with them. They have to have more than one account in order to do sweeps.
There you go.
which we have.
Yeah, no, Bank First.
Oh, Bank First, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, First National.
First National, okay, I was confused.
Has to
okay.
have more than one account with
Well,
it.
and, you know, that comes back to that situation where, well, like, do we split the fire department or municipal authority? Huh? You can't? No?
No. Simply because of how the federal ID is set up, as well as their taxes
So-
that are budgeting, that are funding those accounts.
So why not
We're
move
under
one of
200
your
there right now.
small ones
Also,
like
yes.
Fourth Fast over
I'm
there?
sorry,
So why not move one of your small ones like Fourth Fast or something like that over there?
we could do that.
And you have more than one account.
We don't have four separate accounts.
But they only do that if it goes
We
over
have
200.
community events.
They only do that if it goes over 250,000.
Right.
And right now, the only account we have there is not over, is at 221, so it doesn't matter right now.
Right,
So
that's
it's
what I'm trying to say.
sweep it if it's under 250, but if you hit 250, like, you have to.
You have to.
Yeah.
So can we,
And we're going to at some point, because I share the funds from your one here to over there. So at some point, it will get where we'll have to sweep.
could we eventually take like that First National Bank or something and roll it into like, Edward Jones or Wells Fargo?
With an investment policy, yes. If your investment policy says that you can, yes. And if your
Put it in
investment
a high
policy,
interest rate CD or something like that?
And Tom might be able to do this, but is there other communities that you can give us an example of what their investment policy
Sure.
looks like?
Yeah,
Is that something
absolutely.
you can provide us?
Yeah,
Can
so
you make a
no.
note of that, Michelle, if
Yeah.
she forgets to email her to request that?
Absolutely. Yeah. Totally don't mind a bit. Lots of towns have them. But you have to be very specific on what kinds of investments you're allowed to have. Okay, and there's state statute that
Well, and
limits that.
that's where we constantly preach that we, you know, by having you, Tom, and all these different people that we've added to the team,
Yeah.
I mean, no offense, you guys know, great, I know, I speak for myself, I think most of us here have no clue, you know, so we
About
are,
the
we are
accounting.
100% reliant on you guys to help us with that. That's why we
Absolutely.
always, and we do this with a lot of things, that if we have an example of another town our size,
Yeah.
you know, what their policies look like, and if they're within compliance, then it helps us stay within that.
Absolutely. No, don't rewrite the wheel.
Yeah.
Just plagiarize. Absolutely. Okay, so that was some good news. All right, this number I can substantiate, so let's go to page 22. So, on page 22, at the bottom of the page is the accounts receivable. This is the money the citizens owed you as of the last day of your year, okay? And we could substantiate this number, provided that there's no cutoffs or late fees that were supposed to be in this number, okay? But your records did prove, positive, that they were doing a better job of collecting the citizens' money. You had less outstanding, less past due, because you started the year with 35,000 citizens owing the town, to going down to 12,000. So the citizens were paying more regular, okay? Or
That's not a dollar amount, that's people?
no, it's a dollar amount,
Okay,
$12,000. That equates to people in my brain.
that's how much the community, the people owed us?
Yeah, only
Yeah.
$12,000.
That's not counting like outstanding
No,
warrants
that's
and all that kind of stuff?
just utilities.
Just utilities, okay.
Just utilities, yeah. So you did a better job of collecting utilities, yeah.
Unfortunately, we've had to crack down on all that, so.
Yeah. Okay, again, there's stuff to look at, but I don't trust the numbers. Let's go to page 26, I can trust those numbers. Because we actually reached out to Bank First, and they confirmed that those loans were paid off. So, at the end of June 30, 21, you had 3 loans, this column of numbers, that first column of numbers. During the year, they were paid off.
You
And we
don't
could
have, just
confirm
remember,
that.
you don't have any loans on anything.
No,
Yeah,
no,
we've
since
been-
I've been here, I've
Yeah,
paid
we've
off
been
the
cash
last
flush on that side.
police vehicle loan when I
Yeah,
got
we don't,
here.
we try not to do any of that anymore.
Yep, and Bank First was able to substantiate that you paid it off during that year.
What was, Ted, no, you were the last one who went through. What did they tell you about the city taking out loans?
Oh,
No more than a year.
okay, so let's talk about that. So the municipal authority is allowed to have a loan that extends more than 1 year, because it's an enterprise fund. It's a fund that creates, it's like a business, right, the municipal authority. The government's not allowed to have a loan for more than 12 months, but you can have a long-term lease, kind of. The lease has to be renewed by the council every year, okay? So that's how some of these small towns do it that can't afford to buy a police vehicle, is the bank gives them a lease, the bank owns the vehicle, leases it back to the town for a 12-month lease, the council approves it every 12 months until that lease is paid off, because you cannot obligate the government for more than 12
Do
months.
banks the size of Bank First?
Bank First does it a lot.
And how
Do
were,
they do that on, like facilities?
Oh, yeah.
And they lease it to that community, like a lease to purchase thing of some kind?
If you want a new community building, you're probably gonna have to get a bond, like a school bond, but a government bond.
Our town doesn't want to do that, we have enough bonds.
Yeah. You probably have enough
That's
school
what I was
bonds,
asking.
yeah, so
Yeah,
there are
so-
towns that have those bonds.
Cause that's a $2 million loan.
They won't give you a $2 million
Right.
loan, but they'll give you a bond for $2 million. Yeah, they'll give you a bond for $2 million, absolutely. Rush Springs did one, to build a new gym for their school. The school was bonded out, meaning the school had met their limit,
Okay.
and so they went to the town of Rush Springs and said, hey, you will get a bond, and we'll lease you our land, so you can go get a bond on our land, and build us a building, and then when the building's paid off, then deed the building over to us.
Rush Springs did this?
Rush Springs did this,
Huh.
because the school was bonded out, they had too many bonds.
Yeah.
So, the town can get a bond. Trying to think, who just did a bond? Somebody just did a bond for a new ambulance, building. Can't remember who it was, maybe Carnegie or Apache may have done that. Anyway, well, they went out and got a bond offer, a bond issue to build a new public safety building, absolutely. Because Bank First won't give you a $2 million loan.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you can get a bond, and Bank First will manage it for you, absolutely. Cash did that, City of Cash did that for their school, Jackson County, the county did it for, their jail, Tillman County did it for their jail, lots of places do it. It's possible.
We try to just stay 100% debt free, but.
Yeah, but they will. Okay, so the last thing well, not the last thing, I just wanna keep talking. Let's go to this page, it's page 29, but it doesn't have a letterhead. Okay. Now, this is what we call your internal control report. Because you're subject to governmental auditing standards, we have to check more than numbers.
Repeat the page again, I'm sorry.
29.
29. Go ahead.
Okay, because you guys are a government, you fall under governmental auditing standards called Yellow Book, right? And Yellow Book says, check more than numbers, and that's what this report says. And we basically have already kind of went over them. There's two kinds of reports that we can talk about: a significant deficiency and a material weakness. A significant deficiency is minor. It's an isolated incident that happens, like maybe you were overdrawn on your bank account. Well, that would be a significant deficiency, an isolated problem. A material weakness is a problem that affects everything, right? It's pervasive. It's kind of like an umbrella over your town of mistakes. And that's what you guys got. If you look on page 30, you got 7 of those material weaknesses. Now, some of them are repeat and some of them are new. So let's go to page 31. Okay. The first one is lack of capitalization policy. Okay, this is a repeat finding. Meaning, what this one's about is when the town purchases something that's going to last more than 12 months, you were not, back then, recording it correctly. You had no policy about that, and you weren't keeping track. You're supposed to have a policy on, if it's cost more than $1,000, we put it on a capital outlay list. If it's less than $1,000,
Well, we can lower that threshold to 500 or
you can do
whatever.
whatever you want. You can do 500, you can do 5,000. It's your town. But back then, you didn't have a policy. And hence, they have a policy now, right? Yeah, you're gonna have a policy now, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah, you are.
Yeah,
I think you do,
but-
from our very first meeting.
Well, it's in the works, but, I mean, I would love to see, I mean, add the stickers and all of it. I mean, anything,
you wanna see
whatever
a-
that threshold amount is, but.
The Southeast, Public Library, Southeast Oklahoma Public Library has the best barcode system for tracking fixed assets. Now, they're in McAllister, but it's the best I've seen, and it's not that expensive. And
They do it? I'm confused.
They do it. So they have barcode readers, and they have stickers, and when you read the barcode, the database, they've taken a picture of the item, they can mark the location of the item, they can say who's responsible for it. It's a beautiful database. Southeast Oklahoma Public Library System in McAllister. Beautiful. You want their number? I'll tell you their number.
Bringing in the written books.
Well, but,
Not written, no
I'm sure, I wouldn't think that they created that, they purchased that.
They purchased it,
From
yeah.
somebody.
Yeah, they maintain a heck of a system.
Can you write that down and contact them and ask them who they use?
Because they have 30 locations of libraries that they manage.
So they're doing something right there.
Yeah, they're doing a really good job. And before,
I don't know, 30 people read books.
well, they have 30 locations, anyways. So, back then, when we wrote this, this year of audit, you did not have a policy relating to that. Number 2, we've already kind of talked about, is improper cash reconciliations. Y'all couldn't find them, we kind of talked about that already. But, there's more to that. On page 31, it talks about how bank account reconciliations are not being properly performed. During the review of the reconciliations, detailed accounts of outstanding deposits and checks could not be located. We could not determine what was outstanding and how long it had been outstanding.
What year did we start signing all the checks and doing all that stuff?
Not this year.
Yeah, it was the 20, I'm thinking 23.
Could be, yeah. Yeah, so, okay. All right,
We've been carrying around a box of Band-Aids for a long time.
you're getting closer though. Look at it, we're in 22. We're getting closer. Okay, on page 32, we've already talked about finding number 3, lack of documentation. On page 33, we already talked about number 4, improper billing of citizens. On page 34, we already talked about material misstatement of payroll liabilities, number 5. But number 6 is a new one. Okay. Improper reconciliation of transfers. Let's talk about this one. Sales tax monies received were improperly transferred by netting the transfers against a revenue line item in the general fund in the amount of $9,597. Basically, what that means is you underreported your sales tax by $9,597. You recorded your sales tax wrong. The money wasn't missing, because sales tax comes in as a direct deposit from the state into your account. The money wasn't missing, but it was recorded wrong. So it made your numbers look wrong. We were actually able to fix this one, okay? And the main reason back in the day is the way you recorded transfers, there was no system. Sometimes you did it this way, sometimes you did it that way. It wasn't consistent and it messed it up.
Okay, duck on the lake.
Absolutely. But we were able to get a correct number to fix. Now, page 35, I don't think happened, but your record said it happened. On page 35, number 7, non-compliance with Open Meeting Act. The meetings are now separated between the town's business and the municipal authority's business. Town and municipal authority business is commingled and not properly segregated. Improper adherence to Title 25.
This couldn't have been a new one. This one had to have been on the previous one, correct?
No, this is new. This didn't start happening until July 1 of
We
2020.
never had 2 agendas until,
It was running right after that. They started making us do it, I remember something being said about it.
yeah.
The year of audit, you did not.
Yeah, but I agree with that. I'm saying like 21, 20, 19, all of that.
Didn't have a problem in the previous audit. So maybe somebody got a hair up their tickets and thought, oh, we're gonna combine this, make this to go easier, or maybe the documentation just showed it. I don't know.
I don't remember ever having 2 until recently.
Yeah.
We did.
It was
So, I think a year or something.
She just very significant to do the one because the general had everything on it. What was on the municipal agenda was just items pulled off of that.
I don't
My
think-
understanding last year, I wasn't the one
I
that
don't
did
give you
them.
I haven't been giving you the municipal ones since you guys got all confused when there were 2 agendas sitting in front of you, and I am not joking, Bob remembers this apparently.
And that's who I think.
After that meeting, I quit handing you the municipal, although I have it right here. But I do not hand it to you because it gets very confusing for you guys. The numbers don't match because there's less on municipal than there is on a general. Everything's on the one you get in front of you, but the municipal only applies to municipal. And it gets very confusing for you.
So, in my book, you have to have 2 separate meetings, according to state statute. You're supposed to open the municipal authority meeting, business, end it, and start the town, or start the town, business, end it, start the
And
municipal authority.
but in that regard, we're not doing that. We're not publicly doing that.
We have not. We have not.
Okay, well then you'll have a finding in those years, in future years.
So we have to start reading it.
Now we have to start having 2 meetings.
You have to have 2 meetings. Yes,
But
you
they
have
can
to.
be compared on the same day.
Yeah. Oh yeah, most towns do the shorter one first.
Which
And
is
then,
municipal for us.
there you go. And then they do the longer one. Unless there's a lot of citizens.
Can we do the municipal and remove the municipal from the general?
You
Correct.
can't remove it, but you can you can skip it when you're doing the general, because you've already done it.
Yeah.
But I have to leave it on there, because it is technically a part of the meeting.
Well, that's how we did it.
All you
We're not
have to do
doing,
is announce when you get to that one, this one was reported on the municipal agenda.
then we're not within compliance on that thing.
Okay, then
So-
you'll be getting a finding
Okay.
in future years. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's better to be honest. I mean, it is what
Yeah,
it is.
no, I kinda already hear it, so
Yeah.
I'm already making notes.
I mean, we're
Yeah.
learning.
That's okay, that's right. The numbers are getting better, your procedures are getting better. So be proud of yourself, guys, you're making a huge progress. Okay, so
Only
those
you
were,
do.
huh?
Only you do.
I know. Okay, so those were the only things wrong, those 7 items that we considered in your procedures, but they were pretty stinky bad. Now, on page 36 and 37, I'm not gonna kinda go over that. You did not have a budget for this year. Now, you may have had one, but it couldn't be found. So, in my book, you did not have a budget.
We have budgets, like this is every year. This is where I'm frustrated, because it feels like there's like a big lack of communication problem between your department and theirs, and I'm not pointing fingers at
No,
anybody.
no, no.
I'm just saying, we do budgets every year,
But
like
if you don't keep them, you gotta keep them, you gotta go.
Yeah.
we keep them.
Yeah, we have those.
That we may not, the ones that she's talking about,
May not
may not have
exist.
been able to found.
Yeah. Yeah.
If they weren't,
If it,
if they weren't doing all their stuff, they may not have been turning their budgets in.
I probably have it at home.
Okay, well then.
I have no idea. I don't have
If
a
we
big
get to the
thing,
next
but-
year, if we get to the next year,
That's
we
where
don't
it's
have it,
at,
I'll
right
call you.
there.
Yeah.
Each
Very
to
good.
their own.
I don't throw stuff away, no, just the copies y'all give me, I keep them, I probably have.
Good. Well, so, I mean, that's just it though. We ask for stuff and, you know, we don't just give you one chance to find it. I mean, we really wanted to have this done back in April, but we couldn't. We couldn't get this done in April because we kept being told, we're gonna keep looking, we're gonna keep looking. Okay, keep looking. We don't mind waiting. But eventually I finally said, done. I'm tired of this looking. We're ending it. We're moving on.
For 2023
Start doing
to current,
23.
we will have budget.
Good, fine.
We do it every year.
yes, we do. One thumb drive,
There you go.
labels,
All is well. Okay.
yeah.
And then, okay, so look at page 38. It's weird, but I'm gonna tell you why you can't trust this number. On page 38, you see that big, ugly 638,000 in the middle of the page, second column? According to the records that we were given, it says that the police department owes general fund $638,000. It was never transferred. Don't know if it's right, don't know if it's wrong. But the record said that we did. That the police department owes general fund $638,000. We don't trust that number. So, don't trust it when you look at it. Long story short. All right. And let's go page 39. And I'm sorry to have to pick on the police department, but I gotta pick on the police department because I don't trust these numbers either, and when you look at it, I don't want you to think it's correct numbers. On page 39, we're looking at the police department fund, and we're going to look at this negative $371,000 at the bottom of the page. See that second number from the left, that negative 371? We don't trust this number either. Meaning, we don't trust the fact that the police department was bankrupt, because they're still here. Right? If they were really bankrupt, you guys would have cut your police department years ago and said, we can't afford you, we're gonna rely on the sheriff. Okay, we're gonna rely on county. Obviously, you have not done that, so that's why I don't trust this negative 371. This number says that your police department's bankrupt. Meaning, they're spending more than they're bringing in.
So does this fall back into all the citations, all the stuff that was missing?
Bookkeeping.
You don't get any,
Bookkeeping and missing citations. Yeah.
you don't get any money from companies.
We changed that where it all goes to the general fund, and then we write them the check to cover their budget.
That budget every month.
Yeah.
Back in this time frame, it wasn't that way.
It wasn't yet. What year did we, I don't know, I can't tell what year we started doing it,
According
but.
to the numbers we were given. Now again, I'm not placing reliance on any of these numbers, but according to the numbers we were given, back in this time frame, you received $234,914 in citations, up at the very top, according to the numbers we were given. So that's one thing, don't trust these numbers. They're not right. If you guys are telling me these things, that's not what your number shows, and that's not what the proof that we asked for shows. Okay? Because the proof isn't there. So, moral of the story, it's not a good number, don't trust it. Okay. And now this we can trust. Go to page 40. Here's some positive news to end the meeting on, that we can trust these numbers. On page 40, you can see that you guys received some federal grants, verifiable, real numbers. You got in $378,000 from coronavirus. This is the last year of corona. And then you have $4,700 from the forestry services. Real numbers verified. You were awarded those. So that's a positive way to end the meeting. Yeah. Good. What questions can I answer that we haven't talked about? yeah, more of the same. But it's gonna get better.
I'll believe when I see it.
Well, whatever Michelle started that year.
Yeah.
It's gonna get better. Yeah. Any other questions?
So you'll be back in like September or what?
We'll get with Michelle and we've already started on 23. We were out here 2 weeks ago, I think it was, on 23, so we've already made progress. We were trying to get 23 done to be able to present 22 and 23, and we just didn't have enough documentation. Yeah, but we are getting closer.
Wow. Thank you very much.
You're very welcome.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Alright.
I need a motion and a second.
Oh,
I want to turn this into the
So I have a motion on audit 7/21/6/22.
We don't have a choice but to accept it. I'll make a motion, we approve A and allow them to file.
Okay. Have a motion, have a second?
A second.
Motion and a second, all those in favor? Yes. Aye.
All right, thank you, guys.
Alright. I think I'm gonna save 9 till the end of the meeting.
No.
Just so she knows exactly what you go through, you know.
Exactly what he said.
Number 9, Grant Lacey Dawson.
Hello, I just wanted to ask the board if you guys would be interested in participating in a municipal road drilling activity fund grant. You guys did it in 2023 and paved 1 mile of division and a mile of Choctaw. It's a partnership between the city and the county, but it's a municipal grant, so you guys have to be the ones that facilitate it. They will grant up to $500,000 and there's a 25% match. The county is willing to pay that match, so it's not any cost. Little bit of legwork on your end, the county doesn't mind putting in the application and all of that. So what it is, the grant is specifically to repair roadway damage caused by oil field activity. So we have been talking about 44th Street from Highway 81 going back to the east. And you may already know some of this if Michelle sent it out. I know I've talked to the staff a little bit about getting it on this agenda.
44th gravel?
It is, yes.
That's
So what we would propose to do, I wanted just tonight to be kind of conversational with the board to see what you guys were interested in or what you kind of had an appetite for as far as the project itself goes. But we think it needs a lot of surface road. The houses that are right in that first mile are very close to the road, and then we have already chipped on past radio where all those houses are right there on the south side of the road. So what we were looking at was maybe like 1 or 2 different options. So we could come in off of 81, do an aggregate base, and put asphalt, like 5 inches of asphalt down. But because of the cost, because just 1 mile of that, we were looking at like $536,000. We thought we could do 1 mile of that, and then the next year apply for the next mile up to meet up to that pavement in front of those houses, giving them a paved road through there. I talked with the brick plant, because you know, they've got that property right on the north side of the road, and I thought they might be interested in helping pitch in some money so we could do 2 full miles right there. They're really not, they said they won't see any mining activity over there for at least 2 years. So after that conversation, they just bought the property for now, but they don't see actively like using it yet. So after that conversation, I went back to my road foreman and we talked about the idea of chip sealing a little over 2 miles. It'd be 2 miles plus up to where the pavement already is, and go ahead and do like a Portland cement base underneath it and chip seal it, and then in a couple of years, kind of circle back and see if they want to partner to put like a 3-inch asphalt overlay. We thought about doing this in 2 different cycles, the same grant, if you guys are willing to, because again, it is your grant, but doing it in 2 cycles and getting all the way up to Manning where it's paved. So that's kind of the end goal after a couple of years, is to have that whole thing paved. It's a really great candidate for this grant. You have to meet certain criteria, and we put it in the Corporation Commission data. It shows that within a 10-mile radius, there's over 2,000 well sites.
So, what's life expectancy, and I'm talking about legit life expectancy, not what they say in the books, chip seal?
there's not a great way to answer that, it's just the traffic. I mean, chip seal is literally a layer of rocks with oil. So we do 2 layers for a chip seal road project, and like, I don't know if you've been watching here lately, they've been going around and putting another layer, trying to seal up a bunch of those chip seal projects from the last couple of years. So, there's
Isn't
no
that
good
just
way to
kinda
answer
wasting
that with the
money?
truck traffic.
You know, with the, I mean, we're not gonna stop the truck traffic on 44. So by the time that you get there to go for the second grant, all your chip seals are busted in.
But you're eliminating the coals and dust.
The what?
Eliminating the coals and dust.
That is the largest complaint that I get,
Can we not just oil the roads like?
can we not just what?
Can you not just oil the roads?
With rock on it? We sure can.
So where I grew up, like, it was all sand, and the county would go through and they would spray like this oil-based stuff on, like, kind of the stuff that they sprayed on Charlie's field.
Oh, like out of the fields, like like you're talking about the oil.
But they would
mud
spray it on the
stuff?
roads, and then all that sand would turn into rock.
So there are different things that you can put down on a road base or like something like that, it's not a permanent fix. And the county's done lots of things, they did millings, that didn't really pan out so good, cause they started getting real chunky and we had to go scrape those off. You can put down like magnesium chloride, it's a quick fix, you know, for dust, but it doesn't last. So if you, in some places you might see where there is a house right off of where we've chip sealed, if we have a little bit of extra oil, they're going and chip sealing in front of that house, even if they're not doing any of the other road stuff, they're not doing the drainage, they're not fixing any of that. They'll go ahead and put a little bit down just for dust control really, just to use out what's in the truck. I don't necessarily have a real strong opinion either way, if your board feels better about doing it in a longer time frame and doing the 5 inches of asphalt in the first mile, I'm okay with that. It is a lot of work in that first mile to cut down, kind of where a hill is, make it just safer, and then a lot of drainage work to make sure we keep the water off the road to protect it.
Well, and I mean, I've got a million questions on it myself, because, you know, like, if we're gonna invest all this money in asphalt, I don't want it to end up like Maple, and 3 months later, it's cracking apart, and then they come over and chip seal brand new asphalt.
And the purpose of that is to protect it, to put a layer over it. I know we do a lot of crack sealing as well.
When will this grant be awarded?
So I don't know when it will be awarded. The deadline to apply for it is the end of September, so I thought I'd come and talk to you guys this month if you guys were interested in doing it at your September meeting. I have an interlocal agreement to partner on it. I don't know when they award it. I haven't ever done this grant before. As far as I know, you guys are the only ones in the county that have done it before.
I remember doing it before. And you said that the mining company, and you talked to the brick plant about them. That's interesting because the gentleman that owns the mining company was here today.
Really?
He, according to him, they plan to start in the spring.
I talked to, Mr. Clark.
Really? I wonder if they don't let them know that. It would kind of be horrible if that was all going on about the time you're trying to work on the road.
And it would be likely, yeah, a lot of that base work and the drainage work all happens in the winter, spring, to be ready for the big job.
Ready to start out here. That was interesting.
I can get the contact information of whoever you talk to. I'll give it a shot again. Again, it's you guys' grant, it's completely up to you all. I don't know if there was a reason why you didn't apply for it last year, but like I said, as far as I know, in the whole county, the Union City's the only ones taking advantage of this money.
You're four.
What is it on this last few years?
They got done last
Yeah.
year.
Well, they're done in 24, probably, that spring of 24.
So we could have applied for it last year and didn't,
Correct.
I would assume, because we didn't know.
I didn't get the email last year.
Yeah.
I got the email this year.
I mean, for the record, we would like to apply for every grant we could ever apply for at all times. So,
Well, I mean,
Did you guys apply for it,
I
and
just-
you applied
yeah,
already
that's
just
what
this year?
I'm 100% in, I just wanna make sure that the money's spent the best way possible.
yeah, and I don't have an input on it. I mean, there's people in Sherwood who can me on that. I know the answer
We
is
kind
yes,
of looked at what it
anytime
would
it's
look like
improved.
just for the first mile, and there's like 5 different drainage areas, like, culverts that we would wanna put in, plus the work on cutting out the road. We were looking at like right around 120,000, a mile to chip seal with the Portland cement, with striping, like, well, you wouldn't do striping on it, but for if we were asphalting it, that included all of the stuff.
Striping will look better than what y'all had done on 152, right?
That was the company that I don't care to use again.
There you go, Liz.
It still isn't, fixed yet, 89% striping. If you don't know, a company stripes striped the wrong road. They're supposed to stripe the new mile of 89 that was just asphalted, and they striped a closed highway for a mile.
That's not good. But.
That's because the county is not paying
The
for
good
that.
news
Why
is-
this up here got striped, that's why this got striped?
Yeah, the
No,
good
but
news is,
Alphaville
I was
got
wondering,
zero.
like, how you striped that?
yeah,
Like,
Keith, the good news is that they're gonna pave right over top of it. You wanna go tell them.
Well, I thought that to myself like multiple times, I'm like, damn, I'm not a road guy. Like,
That was the wrong
Yeah, that's not
road.
the finished up one will be too, so.
Thank goodness.
that is
Alright, yeah,
not funny, but funny.
good county commissioner, I trust your opinion.
Yeah, you're road people, so that's where I'm at, but.
After speaking with the brick plant today, my foreman and I sat down and that's what we discussed was changing the project instead of 5 inches of asphalt to a chip seal and doing it, all the way up to meet up with the chip seal in front of the houses. It will give a paved surface, which is kind of an immediate need for those houses getting out. When 59th was briefly closed because of the train part that washed out, I think it got a lot of attention real quick on 44th and being a gravel road and maybe even the comfort level of people driving on it. So we're just trying to address that, and it is a great spot for this grant.
I utilize like 10% of the Union City roads. That's my expertise. Same route every day.
You basically have to do the ditch work and the base
Yeah,
work.
of course, yeah.
First, no matter what you put down.
Yeah.
And so, the cheapest way to do that is usually the chip seal deal. It gets you further, faster. Then, there's no guarantee that it holds up with the kind of traffic we had, but we've had pretty good luck with it, actually, lately, holding up to that heavy traffic. Then you can go in there just like we did on Alphaville and, blacktop it in 89.
Essentially the same project, that's exactly what was done on Alphaville.
Yeah. And most all your roads around Mustang to the north of them were chip seal roads, and they never had any base work. Most of this road going through town here never had any base work in 35 years that I know. Probably never.
Through town?
Yeah.
Oh, man,
through
you
town.
got base work from about 10,000 semis.
Yeah, it never had any.
At no charge.
You couldn't drive a nail through that thing.
I know we probably get sick of hearing David say this every year, but one time they were talking about, oh, they're gonna go long term, they're trying to get all that done, that's still something you start thinking about.
To get everything into hard surface?
Yeah,
I'm not
basically
willing to
what
say
it's
that
telling
today,
you.
I don't know yet.
Alright,
Yes.
yes.
I'd be.
Does everybody feel comfortable with the idea of doing the chip seal and then looking at putting an asphalt surface over it later, just kind of like what Alphaville looks like?
Do your thing.
I don't
have a
need
motion?
any action tonight, I
No.
just wanted to have a conversation, and what I'll do is push
Sorry,
the
Ron, no
paperwork for
action
next
on that,
month.
I'm gonna know about it anyway.
Thank you, thank you. Number 10, Department of UC Code Enforcement.
I'm gonna got some other visitors, are they here for this?
I'm just asking if they please.
One, yes,
Okay,
it
thank you.
has to do with me.
Oh, okay.
They both have.
You gotta make a motion on that, Bob, or not?
No. Table? Table.
On which one, I'm sorry?
Table number 9, okay.
You're all right.
Michelle, table number 9.
Table what?
Number 9.
Next agenda, no action table. Woo-hoo! Item 1A.
Alright, number 10, Code Enforcement.
One of the visitors here is Park Code Enforcement Park, Street and Alley. Gentleman owner of Brick Solutions
Water, that's
here.
what-
That's under municipal, how is that what's going on in
Yeah.
14A. One of the
14A?
visitors.
Alright, let's move up to that. 14A, water lines on Highway 152. Following discussion by the Board of Trustees.
I'm just curious, do we need to do a different meeting? I mean, can we do that?
Oh,
You
since it's
know what I'm
municipal.
saying?
Well, we already burned it, so.
But we ain't did a municipal one yet, I'm not asking, I don't know.
We don't, but we don't.
Sorry, municipal,
Huh?
because you
Should we,
have-
So if you
should we
wanna-
start
what
at
I'm
municipal?
Is if you wanna do a municipal meeting after this one, that will include that.
That's all I'm asking.
Adjourn and read.
I'll do it, however you guys.
You can go over this now, then we can go do that meeting again later, you know what I mean?
Water line on Highway 152, is that it?
I think you could do it now, then if you wanted to stop this meeting, start the municipal, go back to it, say we did it, or something, that's what I'm asking. I'm just trying to avoid.
You're the leader, Mom.
We got a case in there. I don't know the answer.
Or do we want to start municipal meetings and things in September?
Yeah, we started in September.
Okay, that's all I was getting at.
We already
So,
did this.
let's just do it, we're already getting rid of that board anyways. So, number 14A, water lines on Highway 152. Following discussion provided the board of trustees for the review and possible action on upgrading water lines on Highway 152. David, give us your spiel.
Wait,
7:30?
okay.
Just a test. I've checked with several, including Ryan, and it's a little bit something, it's, I need your guidance. Whether we run a line down through there, if, the way them or we don't do it, if somebody needs water, they pay for the line to get to them. We don't really have anything in our deal that says exactly what we're supposed to do. What we wouldn't wanna do, in my opinion, is, undersize, run a small line just for him, and somebody else wants to do something, you turn around, there was another line, you just wanna run something sufficient to substantiate the growth down there. And I had a couple of ideas, but I didn't know what's it cost? I don't have a total yet, but, depending on what engineer says on size.
Engineer say 8 inch, he says 8 inch on everything.
Yeah, 8 or bigger. Me and Ryan sat down, went over the map the other day a little bit, and we come up with, it was about 3, I think, roughly, 100,000, sorry. If we ran a 8 inch. I got some maps, you wanna see real quick, or? Sure. So, we got this, see where that, okay. Probably should have done this on TV or something. Well, I'm just start phone stuff, yeah. So, we're talking about the land on 152 down here, east, is where this gentleman, correct? Who was it? Yeah, has a business somewhere around here, the one that does, what's your?
Shipping containers, sir.
Yeah.
Just east, our entrance is just east of the little cutout where they kept their culverts and all that.
So right in there. Okay. That's where the entrance is. So we need to get water down there. Right. So technically there was an old 1.5 inch galvanized line that ran to a pasture town right here. But it hadn't worked in 100 years.
What's the fat building on the other side of the road?
I'm sorry?
What's the fat building on the other side?
This, I did this. This is my thinking out loud. We have a 4 inch up to here. It's dead from here on now. But this is a 4 inch where that black line is, which is right in front of the, storages. If we were going to run a line up there, number one, he's needing water pretty quick. Sir, how much water and what were you needing?
I mean, just to run our building, to be completely honest with you, the dirt work starts on our building on August 18th. We anticipate about a month-long process.
So bathroom?
Two bathrooms, there'll be an exterior bathroom so we can meet the needs that we met for the city in case we put other buildings out there, have somebody else come out there, and then there'll be an interior bathroom. The exterior bathroom will have a shower, urinal, toilet, and the interior bathroom.
So basically like a building a house, commercial building, whatever, just a few?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nothing like you're gonna use thousands of
No,
dollars.
there's nothing crazy.
But in order to get all this done, it's gonna take forever. So my thinking out loud first was to found this 4 inch and run him a temporary 1.5 inch, something like that, up to his land. You'll have to pay for the tap now, but since there was a line there,
I was thinking, you not repower that line?
it's on because of the highway.
Oh, they ripped it out.
And it wasn't usable anyway. It got so bad that when this house was right here, he had no water. Nope, I could hold my finger.
Tractors and jump.
I could hold my finger over the spigot. So I ran him a 1 inch line, and of course, that's all gone too now. So, in the big picture,
So how does Larry's and all of them, how?
that's not on our water, that's theirs.
So they're all, that's.
Yeah, our water district stops right here. Yeah, just, you know where that brick house is? Right before that, yeah, the brick house is not on us. So,
Well, this is the house you set a precedence, you let them come in, they're gonna go wherever they want, so we fix it, we're gonna fix.
Like, what do you,
To make sure that our water district is maintained by us.
right, yeah. So, I can get him pretty cheap. I don't know the number,
So we don't
but
go all the way
a
down
couple
there.
thousand or so for, run an inch and a half down there,
We
to
don't
get
have
him where he's let sold it. Cause this is
All
gonna
the
take
way
probably a
down.
year to line out.
My opinion would be,
Which is basically where his
find
land.
out what the engineer says, but I would say go 4 inch from that
Oh, right.
valve,
Okay.
just past his driveway with a blow off. And then a tap right before the blow off. If we ever get to where the point of adding houses or whatever, 4 inches can handle a lot of people.
But our engineer will not sign off
Blow
on
off
that.
hydrant.
And
It'll stay on the end with the mega lug on the end and it'll reduce down to 2 inches and you can go with the blow off.
it's a
You shut the line
single
down,
hydrant.
take that mega lug off and add on and keep on trucking. And do it again for the next property or the next property or the next property, where it'd only be like not near 300,000.
But I will tell you, on the fire side, anything down through here, under 6 inch can't have a fire hydrant, so that would kill them.
Where's
Can't have a
the
fire
where's
hydrant
the
for anything
closest
under 6
6 inch we have?
We up here is an 8 inch. Right here. Up by the highway, right by where that ice machine is.
And then what comes over towards, his
Here.
restaurant? This way?
I'm sorry?
What comes
Four,
over?
all four.
So it switches from 8 to 4 underneath the
Yeah,
highway somewhere?
well, not under,
On
it's in
that
that
corner?
parking lot, apparently, according to Matt.
Yeah.
I've never dug it up, but,
I got one more.
they crosses under one
And you said it goes to 4 inch?
Yes, sir. Yeah. Anytime I've ever found this, has all been 4, so, but this shows inch and a half, and that's definitely 4 inch. Cause I dug it up, cause, ODOT made us
So that's,
come out and put a stake, and we got to put it right here, so,
so but that 4 inch comes from where?
right here, see? This is all 4. Park Drive, that's all 4.
Oh, okay, but I'm just saying, if we wanted to upgrade all of the 6 inch, we gotta come all the way back to here.
Yeah, or 8, yeah, but, well, this is my thinking, and when I talked to the engineer, he kind of agreed. So, when he builds these houses, we're gonna 8 inch over to there, and then
We
have
are.
that. Well, again, that's the tricky side, but according to everybody else, it's him. Or he can have to run, we can play up there. Yeah, yeah, he knows. So, if the 8 inch is coming here and down in front of the houses, if we tied onto it and came over and followed that fence line, that would get 8 inch for anything that's gonna grow there eventually, like commercial wise. There's a line already be there, you know what I'm saying? Instead of running it from up here down, you can follow that, there's nothing in the way. And this is drawn either way, it could go across the road there and come down, or this side, whichever, but that would be, cause you know, if this ever develops more stuff, this could be a housing addition, who knows, but, having sufficient lines, and or 6 or whatever they say.
When is he wanting to start on that?
He's needing water with.
I know he is, I'm talking about those houses over there. When is
I don't know that, I don't even know if it's signed yet or anything, that I don't know. So that's why I'm saying to get in water quickly, which is basically a service line.
Yeah.
But you get the engineer, I can't run a big line without engineer, DEQ, everything.
Run a service line, and then whenever that big line goes in, we tie in.
But it makes more sense to come like this, in my opinion,
Mhm.
and cost worthy.
The blue line has to get done.
Yeah, so it's gonna, they can't tie on this more 4 inch.
What's the turnkey cost for us to put the service line in to him?
I don't have the exact price, but probably 2,500 or under.
So you need a motion from us to get that done?
No, I can prove that. Plus, he'll pay for the tap and all of that, so.
On his-
yeah,
on
remember
his-
it's cost
on his-
plus 10%.
yeah.
We'll pay for the
The service.
line, but he'll have to pay for the meter room set and all that, which is usually about.
And you're good with that, because you have to do it,
Complete,
so.
yeah,
Okay.
whatever it takes to get us a little bit of water.
What's the lead time, how long?
Unless,
it takes you to
unless
put
it's
that
that
service line in?
300,000 number.
That'd be a couple of days.
I mean,
Once, I'd have to rent a trencher, that's another thing, probably 300 or 400, but other than that, it'd take me a week to get it back over a trencher. Cause I'm only gonna put it about 24 inches.
We don't have a trencher.
Never need one, really.
And 24 inches is deep enough to get him through winter?
But 18 is free, but I'm technically
Okay,
at the moment, so.
okay.
But I just want y'all to see that,
I got stuff less than 18 and whenever we had the deep freeze.
no growers in.
No, okay.
But like Ryan said, either one, you know, we ran 4, but I would have to, I couldn't move any water quick with that. I know 4 is big enough too, but I'm just.
I personally wanna see the 8-inch covering all of that, so everything's ready to go.
Well, then
On the
when this develops, it's ready.
Yeah, that's personally what I wanna see. But if he needs water now, then we got.
They can service for now, and then whenever that.
So there was technically a line there,
Yeah.
you know, don't use it. So, yeah, so we can get him.
If you don't need a motion from us, I'd say get it done, right? Everybody agree?
Who knows?
Thank you, gentlemen. He said it would take 2 days from the time.
You got about 4 weeks.
Yeah.
And I
Don't tell him that,
definitely,
cut that in half.
and just for record, I want you guys to be happy whenever we asked this, I would've picked a different board meeting. And I'm on the Mustang School Board, so we just went through some embezzlement stuff.
Yeah, we know all your stories, we
Yeah,
know all
you
the
got-
stories.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, so,
Yeah, we've been-
if you guys want me to point you in the direction of someone, I'm being serious, but someone who can help you figure out how they figured it out,
Yeah.
that might be something.
You might not hurt to leave a phone number. Yeah.
They figured it out for the tune of about $500,000.
Yeah, we read all of them, that's why we get so frustrated.
I wasn't on the board at that time.
And we're not accusing anybody of doing anything, it's just, when you see this data, it's like,
You have to.
what the
You
heck?
have to know. That's right.
Alright, let's move back to number 10.
Hang on.
Okay.
The only thing I don't feel comfortable about is leaving the setter to his property.
Alright, so in English.
We can do the tap and everything on Union City side, but running a service line from that setter meter, where the meter's gonna go, all the way to his property, then that opens it up for everybody in this town.
And there is something in the ordinance that says that they have to pay for their own line ran and then dedicated to the city. The line that runs to Jeff Legali's in north up there was paid for by that man, and he ran it to the city, the water line.
Where it opens it up, where anybody can ask for us to do their service line to their house.
And I'm comfortable running whatever we have to run from, wherever we have to run it from, like I said, I mean, he's talking a couple $1,000.
Well, if we did that, if we do what the engineers want, which will be the overall, it's gonna be a year.
But to get him water quick, put a meter down here, if ever, I mean, there's gonna have to be ODOT easements, right?
Yeah, we have the easements.
We still already have the easement there, but, you know, he's gonna have to.
I just want a temporary service put there to get the guy going.
Right,
Because
right,
the
I
eight-
understand
the
that,
8-inch,
I
I
understand,
wanna
future
spend town
events,
money on the
yeah,
8-inch.
future events, somebody comes in.
Do you have a problem paying for the temporary line coming to you?
No, how much, I mean, we're not talking millions of dollars, we'll do whatever we gotta do to make it right with you guys, where you don't have a problem. We wanna be a good neighbor, you know what I'm saying, like, it ain't that big a deal. We will probably, and I was gonna mention, but I wanted to make sure first, we will probably have a trencher out there for what we're gonna do as far as getting ready for the septic and all that kind of stuff, so, yeah, we'll make it happen.
That makes it better?
I'm just saying, if he was the same company that bought the very far corner over there, and he built a house, and he came to the town and wanted water right now, we're paying for it to get to his property
Makes
now.
sense.
That's what I'm saying.
That's
It could be
exactly-
160 acres, and he wants far side of it, and he wants, you can see, to pay for it all the way to.
I got you.
No, we just do it
That's
to
what
the
I'm
meter,
saying.
the meter goes to property line. You know what I'm saying?
Well, we can do it temporary, right there where you want to, until we upgrade that. And if from his property to that water meter, that's what he's required to pay.
Correct, and where would the water meter go? I mean, just guesstimate somewhere.
The water meter should go on his property though, right?
It should.
Right on the edge, right, yeah.
On the west edge over there somewhere?
yeah.
Okay. 'Cause that'll be cheapest and easiest for everybody, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we cover the line going all the way to his meter, right? Or no?
Yes.
Okay.
Union City's allowed from the main line to the setter valve.
Yeah.
And
The
everything.
center goes right on the easement line, yeah.
Hey, Dave, we've already been talking about taking out a loan, we'll take out a loan, put a new 8-inch line in there.
So you're saying that he doesn't have to pay for it running from there to there? Where it does?
The town covers it all the way to his center line. His center line is basically like the
I thought you were
property.
gonna put the center at where the 4 inch is, or the 2 inch, or 4 inch valve is right there in the driveway.
On his building?
No, cause his land don't start until further.
Right, no, I thought I'd run a 1 inch, then set the center on his property line. Cause, that means he would be,
I thought you were bringing it all the way back to where it stops at.
No,
And that
no.
meter be right there in that drive on the side of 152.
no, it'll go to.
Temporary.
When I hit my hand, temporary, it'll run, whatever, inch and a half probably, and then set the meter out on the edge of his property line.
That
And he'll run
makes, I was going for where the valve is right now.
No.
And then, so, just so he knows, we're gonna cover it all the way to his property line, that's where he'll set the setter, and then you'll be responsible from there to
To
your.
his building.
your
And he'll pay the center, meter, valve, tap, all that.
Okay, which that's normal.
That's normal.
That's everybody, yeah.
Yeah, that's normal. He wouldn't have to pay for those. I think it's about 2,000 feet of line.
Sounds expensive, but I'm down.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's really,
Do you know about what that is?
It was 800 foot to pass this driveway.
was it, I went from the 8 inch, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
When I took it for the engineer, I went from the 8 inch to the very end of our deal.
So
2,000.
we will put about 800 foot in.
A little over, yeah, about 850.
So 850 foot in, of inch and a half line. And then do you know about what it cost him for the setter and the?
About it. He's commercial, but, so you probably, the one for the vet bank down here was like 1,200-1,300 for everything. Wouldn't it? Yeah, maybe 1,400.
And then the town will cover all the way to that property.
What we do on roads,
Yeah.
we do cost plus 10, whatever cost us plus 10% on the part.
That's great, you guys will give me a bill for that, I'm assuming somehow?
That's it, yeah.
Alright,
You'll pay that when you set up your account and pay your deposit.
okay,
Okay, everybody good?
thank you, Jim.
Good luck.
All right, back to number 10. Department of Union City Code Enforcement.
It's under the threshold of what David can make decisions on. Is that right,
At
David?
least 6 times.
You don't need a motion.
I said at least 6 times, whatever it was in here.
All right. There's nothing in here that's here.
Right.
An imaginary book of numbers. I mean, I'm not.
Well, and I mean, it's the same thought that goes to my head every time we do
Yeah,
it.
I mean, it's like,
I mean, we've never had any,
I could change any number in here and it wouldn't change anything. I don't know.
Thank y'all.
Yeah, thank you, Jerry.
How much that you got?
Yep.
I'm good.
Ryan, I don't care, Ryan said it.
We just got thawed out, now it's getting warm.
I just turned the thing off.
I'm finally comfortable.
I thought we lost that.
I didn't mess with
That was
that.
Master Key.
I didn't mess with that, I just turned the thing off.
I'm gonna go put the master
Code enforcement number 10.
You guys have my report. Yeah, we're back to 10. Do you have any questions on that?
Where's Brandy Lane?
23rd.
Twenty-third,
Better.
January.
You already had to get your roof replaced on your new house or a different
No,
house?
we're right now.
Oh, okay.
We
Not,
got-
not that it's my business, I was just
Yeah.
like concerned like this,
It
please.
was the house across the street, right, so we're all people probably got it. Wind got about half of it. They're one stop.
Anybody buy any books?
I don't believe she came back after the first day, so my guess would be no.
She was a very sweet girl, I just did not have time to talk to her. She's a foreign, like, she's from where was she from, I forgot. But I of all the people that knocked on my daggum door, she had her book, her permit, her, all of her stuff, her badge, and I was like, I'm so sorry, I just don't have the time, and even if I thought you could get my kids to read books, like, but she was the nicest, and like, prepared, and like, squared away, it was like.
Everything I heard was positive.
I felt horrible about like just saying, sorry, get off, go on, I don't have time. She met every criteria.
I had somebody come to my house the other day that did not,
Oh, most of them don't.
and I informed him
Yeah.
of the criteria. And he went to tell me that he didn't, I said, well, I'm the mayor of this town, I'm pretty sure I know what we're supposed to have. And they left.
I stopped somebody right next door to you a couple of weeks ago, actually in the evening, somebody called and said, hey, you know this site? No, but I went and checked it out. Yes, I got all my permits, did you show that to me? Well, I don't have money, but I got some, phone copies, I didn't issue them.
Well, I ride them, so I don't think.
So I called the officer to come check it out. I just told him not well, I can send him on his way.
Yeah. Okay. Now, any questions on 10? I did not. 10A, water sewer, non-franchise permit, Tom thing. Tom, 10A?
10A, if you're gonna do that, you've gotta have some writing that not only a motion in a second, but we have to have some sort of a written agreement that sets that out, if you're inclined to do that.
Can you read it?
You were supposed to write the agreement for us.
Oh, was I?
Yeah.
I have a sample from the, engineer that we can send again, if you'd like.
David's gonna send you the sample from the engineer.
Okay, that's what I don't have then. Okay, I'll take care of it.
All right, thank you.
We'll table 10A.
10B, property violations, consideration of possible approval, denial, amendment, revision, acceptance of regarding property violations at 16410 Southwest 59.
Piece of property that's had multiple violations over the years, continual for the most part. I've had multiple complaints this year. It is zoned residential, it's part of Canadian Creek Estate. The property owner is here, Mr. Lowe. Adam and I went out and spoke with him last week. There are multiple pigs on the property. Pigs are not allowed in a residential district. In fact, last month, that was where the pig pen permit got away, so that got out. And wound up having to get a new home, had issues with the dogs being involved at different times, the police have had to put up housing signs, different things, lots of grass and weeds, probably the most complaints in here. Grass and weeds, there are multiple vehicles that are in non-working order on the property. It's got a lot of problems. Spoke with Mr. Lowe, he understands, but in my role and what I'm required to do is only give him 10 days. Once it's been written.
And
Obviously, he cannot do everything in 10 days.
This
So
is
we have to
zoned
go-
residential, correct?
It is zoned residential, it's R1.
I'm the guy.
Absolutely.
I'm David Lowe. I've been here for 34 years, okay? When I came here, it was zoned rural route 2, box 130, lot 38.
That's not a zoning, that's.
Well, it was
that's
rural, it was
management.
rural. It's been rural. I've had, I do have, I went, about 10 years ago, I went looking on how to make some money on my property, and I got these Mangalese pigs. I've had them ever since. I got them, they were expensive, they were $2,000 a piece, I got into them. I got 4 of them for $1,000. I've been raising them. I got them almost to the point where I can get them to a business, get an LLC, and start paying you guys taxes on it too, okay? They're a very tasty pig, and they're good for your health. No rat station, no nothing, I mean, good stuff. Anytime I had a problem with Teresa, go in the yard, fixed it, no problem. Talks about my dogs don't exist. My dog got killed on that highway right in front of my house. 59's a raceway right now. One thing I would like you guys to do is stop speeders. We're going through 75 miles an hour all day long. You guys wanna make money? You need money? Heard that? You guys can just sit up there and sit them up post. You guys get it. All the money you need.
I've worked with you guys all along, and this is just to me, it's a violation of my freedom. I go up there and my gate's open, and not open, but when you're a farmer, you wrap the gate a certain way and I latch it. My gate was open, there was this little $100 bill laying there. I called the guy, he goes, no, it's not me. I go, well, who is it? Well, you know somebody opened my gate, and, so I went ahead and,
What's the $100 bill?
oh, it's a little advertisement. It's a guy selling, oil well properties, is what he is. But somebody dropped that opening my gate and went on my property. First off, that's my property, and trespassing not allowed. And, there's pictures, I like to see them, because they're on my property.
They're from the road.
Okay, I like to see them.
Did you contact the police when someone trespassed on your
We got
property?
pictures, I got pictures.
Absolutely. Please just make a statement there at the gate where I was waiting for her to talk to you, when she fell and I was standing there. I've never been on your property.
Okay. Well, you know, I've been there 91, okay, 2025, all right? I've dealt with you guys. I moved up the country to be free, and I've been out there, never had a problem with anybody. They have my numbers. He said he didn't have my number, the guy has my number, all my neighbors. When I first moved out, I had to put my own fence up. I was one of the first ones out there. I put up a goat fence. Well, I have cows now, and the goat fence don't work, so I'm replacing it. You know, and whenever my neighbors call me, they all have my phone numbers, every one of them. I go take care of it. I'm retired now. And, to me, it's like, if I asked, you know, I told her, so she had my number, I gave it to her. You know, she always sends me a letter usually around July 4th. And I usually go and mow, because she wants it mowed, and I take care of it.
So you wait until she receives the letter before you mow?
No, I have animals, so basically, that's.
But you're a residential, you're not in agriculture, you're residential.
No, I've always been agricultural.
It's 100% zone.
It's 100% zone residential, which means you should keep your grass like this at all times. It's not, you're not allowed to grow it up.
Property, everything back there, every trailer house, every lot, everything is
Well,
residential.
it's not that way though, but
It is.
I got two and 3/4 acres. And
The state of Oklahoma requires you to have 5 acres to even go get your farm tax ID.
yeah, but you can make it, I'm doing that right now.
Not unless you have 5 acres.
You gotta have property.
Right. Well, anyways, I'm trying to work with you guys, and, what they're saying, I can't do it overnight. I've been there forever, man. There's never been a problem. Now there's a problem.
You can't have pigs, you gotta get rid of them immediately.
Definitely can't have pigs, that's an ordinance too.
Yeah, that's an ordinance here for years, you gotta get rid of them immediately.
Except the ag building up here is the only place, or it has to be zoned agriculture.
That
Well,
property's not
you
even
know,
eligible to rezone that. It's not large enough.
You guys say that I'm in the city, but you guys just took over a couple of years ago. But all this way, all the way back there,
We haven't changed we haven't taken on any extra land since I've been sitting here, I've been sitting here for 6 years.
I've been there.
Teresa, how long ago was it that they,
I mean, that's how long I've been on this
And
board.
it's that,
In the 80s, wasn't it?
it was in the eighties,
Yeah.
before I started here.
It's been inside Union City limits since the 80s.
since I was a kid?
Yeah, but I'm not up in the city, I'm all the way out in the country.
No,
I'm
you
right
are in
next
the
to
city, you are in city limits, you are in the city, you're in city limits.
The Canadian Creek Estates has always been zoned R1, that entire addition out there.
They wouldn't have let that addition go in
No,
without.
none of
So
it.
any vehicles with expired tags, pigs, not mowing your yard, all those things are all city violations because you're inside city limits. All your vehicles have to be kept up and kept tagged,
Well,
everything has to stay mowed.
I have,
You have,
Black
there's
tag.
specific, does he own enough, he has enough land for how many cows?
One per acre.
1 per acre, so you have enough land for 2 cows, how many cows do you have?
I have 4.
So you need to get rid of 2 cows,
Okay.
all the pigs have to go.
Well,
These are ordinances that have been in place longer than any of us have been here. All we're doing is enforcing rules that were already set in place. You're not within compliance with
And
any
we
of
tried
those
to work
things.
with him all
Yeah.
4 years.
And we wanna work with people, and we're not saying we're gonna drop the hammer on you today, but the fact of the matter is, you are in a residential neighborhood, and you're not within compliance on any of those things.
Well,
So the option is you gotta get within compliance.
Yeah.
We as a board have to start fining you for not being within
So
compliance.
what'll happen is if you don't go into compliance, we start an abatement process. Once the abatement process comes in, they send somebody in, they remove all your animals, send them to wherever they're gonna go, and you're responsible for everything. So that's us sitting here telling you, look, these are the issues, fix them, so we don't have to go down that road.
well, I'll fix it, but you guys gotta, I mean, it's, you guys not right overnight, man. And,
I'll give you 30 days, okay?
Just one, right?
I'll make it help.
I'll give you 30 days. At the end of 30 days, I want you back here at one of our meetings. I want you to come in, show me what you've done, what you've changed. If we as a board believe that you are actually progressing and you are really working about off to make this right, we'll give you some more time. But, I mean, we'll be as fair as we
I got a
can.
kill date for 4 pigs, the 30th of September. And that'll be 4 of them gone, I'll work on getting rid of the rest, okay?
The grass and weeds.
Got some weeds, I can pretty much take care of that.
And the 2 cows, the 2 extra cows?
I got a buyer for one, and I got a kill date for the other one, I'll get them up there to go.
Y'all good with that?
September 30th, a little longer than 30 days, so, on the fees.
Let's say
So
we're in
it's in the
August,
October meeting?
That's 50 days.
it's 50. Can you push them forward to get it in this 30? Because
With the way COVID
I'm
was and
supposed to give you
everything.
10.
I know, but women, trust, they gotta be state certified to kill them and to sell them, and, I got that kill date for the pigs, I didn't even talk about the cows yet, I gotta talk to him about the cow. And, so, this is possible, again, country homes where I do it at, so I'll call them up and I'll have a date.
Well, get us the date, get it to her, we need something done.
Next meeting, September the eighth.
Yeah, so at the next meeting, I expect you here, and I expect,
September the eighth.
September the 8th.
Okay,
September the 8th, I need you here showing me the progress. All right?
okay.
I appreciate you, bud. I'm sorry? Oh, okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, no action.
And the,
You're gonna leave that on the agenda for 10,
Absolutely.
so we'll just table 10B.
Table it. All right, number 11, Department of Unity Police.
Just a few things that I don't think I put on a report. All right, back to full duty on the 25th. Two vehicles got auctioned on Friday. Didn't make as much as we wanted, but we got rid of them. I think one was 85 and one was 8,300. So that should have been finalized today. I'll be teaching more the rest of this week for more PD. And then the CV Tech Police Academy starts on Wednesday. We'll be having instructors in and out there, and Officer McKill will be attending that academy. Any questions on any of that?
I do.
Sure.
So it shows on here we had 209 traffic stops, 99 resulted in a warning, 110 resulted in a citation.
Yep.
Why do our citations keep going higher and higher and higher?
It's not. If you look, I added another column on there where you can see that actually 52% of our observed violations were resulted in warnings. The way that,
So verbal makes a difference.
yeah, well, sort of, where it comes into play is if we make a traffic stop, we might write someone 2 citations and give them 2 verbal warnings, but we don't document those verbal warnings.
Mhm.
So it's actually keeping better track of what we're actually, the violations that we observe versus how we enforce them.
Okay.
So.
Man, David, you ought to be sitting right here. I'm freezing.
Never, never am I gonna sit right there.
I didn't dress like that.
And then one other thing, so a few years ago, we kind of started an awards program, and you know, to be able to recognize people, particularly police officers, on different activities that they do. But a lot of times our brethren in the fire service get overlooked. And, I just want to, read something real quick. And on that, our officers have been really good about when they see something that's exemplary, that they let me know and we put it into action. So this was actually, written by Captain Noteboom. On July 23rd, 2025, at approximately 9:51, Union Police and Fire Departments responded to a call for service in reference to a pregnant woman coming to the fire station. The information given to first responders over the radio was slim, and personnel were under the assumption that all were about to help deliver a baby. When the woman arrived on scene at the fire department, the ambulance was staged outside the bay door by fire, and all were ready to help. Chief Jones and the Union City Fire Department was on scene, opened the passage door where the pregnant woman was located, and the scene went to chaos. Chief Jones quickly assessed the situation and determined that not only was the baby in trouble, but the mother was also. Chief Jones gently gathered the woman in his arms and moved her to the cot that was waiting outside. The woman was then moved into the ambulance where Pafford EMT's paramedics began life-saving medicine. While Pafford personnel worked on the patients in the back of the ambulance, Chief Jones made the command decision to get in the driver's seat of the ambulance and begin driving to the hospital to save very precious time that would ultimately save the life of the young woman giving birth. It is of my professional opinion that the decisive actions by Chief Jones were nothing short of heroic. By his quick thinking and determination, Chief Jones helped save a young woman's life. I'd like to formally recommend Chief Jones to be presented with a life-saving award, and this letter is a nomination from Chief Jones.
Chief Jones, come to front, please.
Let me cheer up.
And, you know, that's one of those, it's a tough call. It doesn't always turn out the way that we expect it to, but it's the quick thinking and the action of Chief Jones that made that happen.
Sure, I can picture that.
A little late.
All right.
Wait.
Can you reenact it? Come here, guys, I don't use a Google phone, I can take a picture.
There we go, I got it.
Congratulations. Congratulations, sir, thank you.
Thank you very much.
All right. Number 12, Department of Union City Fire.
You should have a report.
Nope, didn't come up.
Huh?
Oh my God. He's close enough to throw something.
Oh. We had 2 oil wells spewing,
Yep.
both of them from the same energy
No,
corporation?
they were two. What happened was, some gas plant somewhere went down, and when it did, it caused several to overbuild.
Mine was blowing off.
But there was tons we didn't know about, I'm sure.
Huh.
But that was.
I couldn't smell anything, so I didn't call it.
Yeah, no, a lot of them was just doing their job and letting the air pressure off, but these particular couple were doing something in the air, but we got them out there getting them shut down quick.
Huh. The wind was blowing away from me, and that's what it's going.
And you see
Get some time in that spot.
the one right under that one, where the call was pretty tough on everybody, but we've been monitoring, everybody's doing well with that, so.
Awesome. Who are your 2 firefighters that advanced from rookie to firefighter?
So, one of them's name is Jack, and he's actually a full-time at Oklahoma City. He lives over there on Alpendale, just south of 152, so he was able to get pretty quick.
Barely made the cut, huh?
Yeah. He's a great guy, good asset, good thinker. He'll admit, we do a whole lot more than they do, because they have people that do one job, you know, like his job is, we're nozzle, they have drivers, they have people that do the roof. We're everything. He's actually learned a ton. He never fought a grass fire, but he got less, you know, things like that.
There's no grass in Mustang.
Yeah, I used to Oklahoma City.
Oklahoma City. Oh, the homeless set on fire all the time.
And he's at, over off Eastern and, station 23, Eastern and 29, so
Oh.
it's all concrete over there.
Yeah. Structure and medical. The other one was, Dalton Stout, you know him.
I've heard of him.
Yeah, he's been through the firefighter academy, he's been through EMT, He wants to do it full-time and will somewhere, pretty quick, I'm sure. Smart kid, really good work ethic, and went through us really well.
And what's the one special incident? It was special. It ought to be on your mind.
Special assignment,
Oh, yeah.
we did the fireworks at Nico, because they didn't know anybody last time.
Yeah, they chose that one.
We had the high-speed chase that ended up with an upside-down car
Yeah,
on Maple Street.
That's one of them, NVAs, you see there.
I was parked at the Mendoza because they were on vacation and my kids were feeding their animals and everything. And I see something go on down there, and I was like, well, what's that about, you know? And then I see Chief Jones come by me a little while later and go down there and park, and I'm like, what's going on? Well, then my kids got done, we were heading to the city, so I tried to go down there and it was all blocked off. And you couldn't see till you got to the corner that there was a car all the way over in the ditch up on its side. It was
In the field.
in the field, but it was in an angle where like, literally the telephone pole was just about hiding the car. So
Yeah.
I got up there and I'm like, how the heck does that even happen?
The cool part is it had a big old wing on the back of it. I think it helped it miss.
Well, he did.
He hit that loose gravel apparently trying to turn down that.
Well, he was trying to outrun county,
Yeah.
and when he turned, the guide wire down the pole, he went right up it. It's over, so, like a ramp, like, oh, already.
I guess, officer, is it Willis? I got 2 phone calls the other day. My son was coming back down by the gymnasium, and then I guess some vehicle left the house over here somewhere, I guess on Division Street, and went down Maple Street at like 90 miles an hour across there. And I had 2 different people call me, Laura's family that owns the daycare, and another one over off Maple Street, and they were upset because the officer, I guess, went, and, you know, he had witnessed anything, so I don't know if anything ever came of that or not, but supposedly some guy went down Maple Street at over 90 miles an hour.
On the, last one, on the other updates,
Yeah.
where it talks about 1,800 gallon tanker that we will be, putting into, something. I've talked to a couple of different auction guys, and obviously they don't know exactly, but they think it may bring a couple of thousand, 3,000 or something. We're almost at the point, because we've worked hard, it was a free truck to us on 4th Street. Obviously, we put money in getting it ready to be a fire truck, but it was a free truck to us on 4th Street. We're at the point we'd almost rather donate that to an ED department rather than turn it to a farm truck, for no more than it's gonna bring. We don't know that for sure yet, but that's kind of what we're thinking. What, do y'all have any thoughts on that?
What do
A
you,
lot of
what
departments
do you
don't
want
have
to
any.
replace it with?
That's, the new one,
Oh.
that we just got, is we're replacing that one. So, it's a little, international.
What about some small department like Luther or something?
Yeah, that's what we're thinking. We don't have a partner in mind yet, but just, you know, if we could, just pass, you know, we've had Mustang's been our big brother over the years and given us a lot of stuff. It's kind of nice to be able to pass that on now, so to speak. It's not for everybody. It's 10 speed. It's a little bit hard to drive. It's, if you get on it and try to turn, it don't turn. Both them turns, it'll go straight. You gotta ease off and let it turn. It's kind of funny. But from nothing,
I've never said a lot.
nothing, it's in good shape. It's just, you know, using too much when it's new. But anyway, this is just kind of a discussion. We want to have a better,
Find a small department that's in need.
okay, I'd rather do that.
Let's move on. 13, Department of Union City Emergency Management.
So at this time, all sirens except the 2 that are burned up completely, which is one at the fire station and one at 59th and Maple are working, and he's working on what he can do the cheapest, and/or he sent off something out of them to see if maybe storms caused it, which would be lightning, which would be.
Sure, upside down car didn't hit it?
Yeah, really, yeah. So, luckily, but we're covered in this area really good, and the new one's up and going and all that.
Does that guy's insurance pay for all that fence and stuff? Is that how that works?
It usually does, yeah.
If they have it.
Oh, and we got this, I guess I wrote the report, but, we got our pre-hospital, EMRA certification we're good till June 30th of 27 now, so that's a big thing. It's kind of like getting certified, so to speak, for medical.
Do we need to go back to 14 again?
Yes. Yeah, just getting it done.
Okay. Number 14, Department of Union City Water Sheriff.
There's a report. Oh, I guess I didn't read it first, huh? We, actually, since I did this, we also got our latest THM results, and they were in the fifties, so that's great. So I have them all out, and we're in great shape there now, as long as they stay that way. And we talked about the extension there, and what,
Yeah.
um,
In your last search, did you find any more spots where you're gaining water?
no, and we're getting ready to hopefully do some smoke tests, got a couple of calls on that. With the, it's just now dried out underground enough so we can do it, because, you know, you can't test it when it's all in the water, because it's really good, but,
What about, did you look into purchasing our own smoke machine?
so, one better, we actually have one, I found, hasn't been cleaning, and I think I got it running, so.
Really?
It's just a big, basically a fan that sits on the manhole, and you just basically light a smoke deal and throw it on it, so I'm gonna do some testing, but I think we got one. Well, I know we got one, whether I can get it running, but that sucker was, yeah, I didn't know we had it.
Well, we don't. See, it'd be nice if we had that.
Yeah.
That
Asset list.
Yeah, that asset list would work
It's
great.
been here longer than me, Brandon.
Well, that means it'll probably.
Honestly, I'd seen it before I flew what it was.
All right. Any other questions?
And that one thing that,
14A got, how would I put 14A? I'll put on that.
We did no action.
No action.
yeah, we did.
We just gonna start on, they didn't vote on
They
it.
didn't.
Right,
Yeah.
I don't vote, yeah.
No action.
He's just gonna, yeah.
15, Department of Union City Animal Control. I'd like to get 4 more pigs, maybe 8.
There was four, important.
Yeah, that one you might wanna.
That one you really do wanna read.
Especially the bottom one, you gotta read out loud.
Yeah, you need to read
I
that
put
out
some
loud.
thought into this one.
And I apologize in advance for
You
that
have to
call.
read it out loud.
Although technically, an August event, it deserves honorable mention. One of our Union City police officers recently displayed some unexpected goat wrangling talents. What started as a routine call quickly escalated into a full-blown rodeo involving 5 police officers, 2 city workers, and 2 trustee inmates. After several failed attempts and lots of running, mostly by humans, Officer Shorter sealed the deal with an Olympic-style diving tackle, successfully capturing the elusive goat. In the heat of the moment, in tall boots, and after an hour of chaos, there was some lighthearted talk of hosting a goat barbecue. Luckily for the goat, cooler heads and softer hearts prevailed. The runaway was ultimately reunited with its owner, who was probably just as surprised as we are. We're happy to report that no officers, inmates, or goats were harmed in the making of this rescue.
Was there any body cams on during?
Unfortunately.
We need to get better at body cams.
We gotta work on our body cams, guys.
Well, he took it off,
Should've been cell phone.
thinking he was gonna have to do that, and he did it. He got out in front of it, when it come by him, he just dove.
13 people chased a goat, we didn't have a body cam on? Come on.
Yeah, we were,
No work.
Policy.
The property owner gave up on it the day before. He was trying to chase it. He gave up on it.
Well, I just wanna say that, you know, I'm proud of our department for not tasing the goat.
we thought about phasing it with 12 gauge.
Yeah.
But it was, you know, overall, quite a week, a couple of dogs, we had 4 dogs come in, they're all gone. Let's see, and right at this moment, we have 4. So.
We have a rather large German Shepherd that keeps visiting people.
That's the same one that's in the story of German Shepherd.
What do we do?
It's good now.
What area? Oh, really?
It was there, I think he's been over by him.
Yeah.
It's a very large German Shepherd.
It's like people walk down the street on Maple, they just walk down the street.
We'll keep an eye out.
Used to be one south of me, but I don't know, I haven't seen that one lately. Good one.
I think that's
The
not.
other two
Yeah.
keep getting out. I don't
I
think.
think that one left,
I think so.
yeah.
All right, number 16, street and alley.
Reports there. You need to read this, I got some questions. Not out loud, but everybody can. But, grass is still growing, not as bad, but they are still growing.
What keeps breaking on your brush hog?
Just different things, it's just getting worn out. Last time it was a little, I've had to put 2 different drive lines on this last couple of months. One from tractor yet, and then from, it goes to 1 gearbox and splits into 3. And, that gearbox is starting to get some slack, and the sides are starting to wear it. I mean, it's been used a long time. Tractor's in great shape, but the brush hog is starting to get worn up. But
What does it cost for a full maintenance on that?
like on brush hog, but I keep it best I can, you know, with the slides and everything, it's just getting worn out.
Yeah.
We change the oil in the gearbox every year, we do everything we can to maintain it. After,
And then whenever.
yeah, remember when we
get rid
mow,
of it, what happens to it?
I'm sorry?
When you get rid of it, where's it
We
go?
trade it, yeah, they do a trade, they have every year at a time. And I'm sure it's more Cadillac cars, a little bit, but that's true, they go by the state contract price, and then just trade. Last time, that one, if I remember right, after trading in, we got it for like 18 or something.
Yeah.
Roughly.
How long ago was that?
About 5, 6 years ago, I looked, we got into the tractor at the same time.
Is there a better brand that we can get to last longer than 5 or 6 years?
We, John Deere, I mean, it seems, I know,
Last
last
year,
time, I
y'all
thought
get
County
new
never
ones
could
every 5 or
make
6
for
years?
it.
Say that again?
Do y'all get new ones every 5 or 6 years?
Yeah.
Well, why don't we just figure out what it costs and pay county to do that mowing for us?
Here's blow you away. We put it up and it's gonna be worse now, because when the road's finished, it's gonna be a lot more mowing. But if we just went straight on what we mow on the highways, it's 138 miles. You know, think about it, till you count it all up, yeah, if you just went straight, obviously you don't just go straight, but, at 3 and 4 miles per hour. But,
We bought, I think they're land prides from Montana Equipment, and they're pretty good at coming out and helping service it.
Really?
Like cap adjustments and stuff.
yeah,
Lindsay was out the other day helping our guys do that, so, yeah.
I'm all for whatever, I'm not.
I'm
I
convinced.
mean, they all have issues, and.
But it has lasted really good.
I'm convinced that stuff is painted green so you don't see it when it's broke down the middle of the grass.
Yeah. But it's,
I love it, I resell all that green stuff, so.
There he is.
yeah, but we keep it green, we keep it, you know,
Okay.
and when we mow, we gotta remember one side's always on pavement,
Mhm.
so that really works, which it has to work, guys, but we're concentrating those kind of things. But anyway,
All right.
moving on, the, stop signs for the new 4-way should be in time, we put the poles up today, so the concrete is, Ryan was the first one to run through it, by the way, he ran through my stop pole. Not my stop sign.
Sure was.
It's okay, he runs the one on Maple all the time.
I had on there, the double line was in error, but y'all know that part now. Got a few projects coming up, I'll have to have exact, just my thinking for the fall, he's trying to come up with projects. Keeley Park hadn't been painted since I've been here, so I'd like to clean that up, paint it, that awning and little picnic area, but my question is, I don't know why it's green. If it's supposed to be, or do we keep it the color it is, do we wanna go to, like everything else is blue, do we wanna?
I was told it was a Boy Scout project or something like that.
I don't know.
I have a clue where it came from, but.
It matches, cedar tree mold on top of the tree.
Yeah.
But just some things, I don't, you know, do you care what it is? It's easier to make everything match blue, but I don't mind painting.
I would just make it match, I don't think it would care.
Yeah, the blue, you mean, yeah,
Your spray gun's probably already blue.
Yeah.
it is. Some things at the ball field, same thing, the swing set, frame needs painted up, some of the playground equipment. Lions Club did paint the, watched the awning, most of it anyway, so.
The big awning?
Huh?
The big one?
Yeah.
The Lions Club did it?
Yeah, the last stuff, they painted the edges and the poles and the.
Like recently or a while back?
Right before the Fourth Fest.
Oh, did
I mean, Fourth, yeah, Fourth Fest. Well, it might have been right after, actually. It kept raining on them. I can't remember exactly what it is now. So anyway, kind of question, you know, we got this little blue building down here on this triangle. I don't know if you know that, we own a little tiny triangle by the,
We didn't learn about it until this audit process.
yeah, but it's completely
I don't even
empty.
understand this, like,
Paint it blue.
Yeah, paint the same blue, leave it, yeah. Just to make it look, you know, decent, yeah. They won't take
the
much.
city owns that little triangle of land or
Yeah,
something?
there used to be, my understanding is the water used to be there, like a water tank, when they had water well or something. And that building, I assume, was like the chlorine or something,
I don't know what it was.
What if we approach a banner to buy that?
To buy it, yeah, that makes most sense to me.
I mean, that's,
Cause at one time, well, with that channel run through there, Doris said he'd just soon just take that out.
Yeah, but man, we could.
Not even have a road.
well,
there.
we looked the other day,
Fish in there, maybe.
we think that's a public road, right?
There used to be a road going right through the grain bin too.
Really?
It's set in the middle of the
I
road.
don't know. I mean, hey, all I know is I'm over it.
I'm just saying, I think it might be who us to.
Makes more
sell
sense
that.
to just sell that off and forget about it ever happening, it has no use to the.
It's literally not a whole lot bigger than this room.
That's what I'm saying, like, it makes no sense for the town.
About double this room, I guess it's that, yeah.
If Banner Co-op is interested in.
Yeah, the only thing I don't know is, are there valves under there and stuff that, you know, that's still, let me back up, there is valves there, I have no map, no clue what they do, I know they won't move. We've tried to move them before, but I don't know if that whole system is off. I don't know if it's, you know, I don't have.
That's where the controls are to turn off all of the old plumbing.
Yeah.
Well, it could be, but,
Cut them in cap.
well, that's the case for screws, because it ain't moving. But, I think the last time I fixed a leak was over here on, here, right up from here on the old line. And I was able to turn it back on, figure out where it's coming from, and cap the rest, and I really had no problem. So I may have most of it
Cap
checked
the
out.
whole thing, and
Well,
as long as you don't get any phone
Do,
calls,
what I'm saying, is
hours, you know you're
where it
good.
breaks, I cut it, turn the water on, see which way it's coming from.
Yeah.
And then, make sure nobody calls and says, hey, I don't have water after we did it, but so far, so a lot of it's dead now. So, we capped it right there.
Is it big enough to build anything on?
Not really, that's truly less than two of these buildings.
That's my point, just let it go to Banner Co-op if they're interested in it and forget about it, I mean, if it, unless there's controls there that matter, but even then, like, they should not. Obviously, they don't matter, because you haven't had to do anything with them.
No, only I would think is if it leaked or something, we have to tear it out, you know, or whatever. But, there's a big, old concrete, footing about that wide, it's circled round,
Walk trail.
probably, yeah, really, I don't know, 20 foot wide, maybe, circle, you know, that's there, I guess that's where the paint maybe set.
Yeah, that's the base of the water tower.
But,
So it makes
my understanding is back when they got it from the river, from the well down by the river.
Yeah, came from the river.
And, so,
And
but
a
there's
lot
no.
of spray paint was used on that, right, Jimmy?
I just spray painted them. I did.
That's an old house, but.
Good politicians deny.
That's your limitation, Brad. Yeah, you're welcome to talk to sir.
But anyway, on City Hall, right up here, on the edge where I used to be fire department, the police department's a little higher than this part.
That and all flagpoles.
Yeah, I did one part, by the way.
Yeah, okay.
But, Hunter wasn't happy with me being up top of that bucket, but we got time. Anyway, you'll see this wood starting to rot, so I figured covering it in metal. We need to coat the ceiling, the whole roof, because it's starting to have a leak or two here and there. This thing's to do with all, but, the garden's still there, but it didn't do very good this year, but I think nobody's did really.
Mow over it, move on.
Yeah, that's my plan.
Well, you're gonna talk to ODOT about the, 152, the angle of the ditch.
Yeah, he
I did
said, he said live with it, cause it's standard.
That is ODOT specs, they did the ODOT deal and.
According to these guys.
So,
TJ Campbell.
when the first time I turn the tractor over, I'm gonna call ODOT and say, hey.
Call him up.
'cause they're steep. You seen them? It's like, woo, that wouldn't be there. A lot of spraying weed, I guess.
All right, number 16A, trailer park on Highway 81, following discussion, provide the board of trustees for review and possible action on clarification of the road maintenance and road trailer park.
Ash Street, why Lacey's still here.
Kinda almost, but we don't know.
I'll talk on it, I didn't ask for it to necessarily be on the agenda, I just asked for some clarification. So we went out a little while back, David and Hunter, Jimmy, Steve, Mike Gorman, and myself, and we were looking at some road projects within Union City town proper that we needed to, some drainage concerns and things that needed to be looked at. And part of that conversation, Jimmy brought up that the county is responsible because the city has taken on responsibility of the roads within the trailer park right here on 81. So, I just came into the office to ask what roads within that are being maintained? Like, what has the town assumed responsibility of? Because whatever the town has said we're going to maintain, it gets put on my road inventory, and so I wanna make sure that that's correct, and I don't wanna do anything that isn't. So, that's where this stems from. I don't necessarily have an opinion on it, I just came in for clarification of what roads the town is assuming responsibility for.
And that's where we don't know.
That goes back to Jacob Johnson.
'Cause she's used on it, they never touched them.
For 40 years, my parents had it, not once did the town come within there and put even a one little piece of gravel. It was maintained by the property owner.
On the flat, it says no pavement.
Yeah, the plat we found.
I can show you, I dug through every old.
But the plat's different than what you.
Yeah, it's different than,
County or something.
I'm just asking.
I didn't move back. Yeah.
This is over me.
No,
According to this, Ash Street to the middle of that creek.
Yeah, Second Street, which is south of
Second
the
Street
trailer park, that shows
Yeah.
to the Ash Street.
Okay.
Never.
But it says no
Ash Street
pavement.
that has gravel and stuff.
Right.
She's
That's
saying,
just Ashland.
And I think this came in 2013 when the original
Yeah.
landowner wanted to build
Yeah,
all
he
the
wanted
way.
to redo some stuff.
And then we zoned it and planning commission to build a chain link fence
That's what
along
he's.
the highway.
Right, and let him do his mobile homes a little bit different.
That's, I think, where that engineer got come from.
But this shows the south entrance to be Second Street, we always thought it was a private drive, it's maintained by the property owner. Tom Murray now owns the south side of it, and then, of course, Jacob owns the north. Prior, it was all maintained by my parents and then the subsequent property owners. But this does show it to be a street part of the way back, but then it shows this to be a gravel drive, does not show to be a city street.
Okay, so ain't city street,
Well,
ain't city street.
can I bring you what it really looks like?
Yeah.
Because it doesn't look
Or
like
is
what you're
this,
looking at.
or is this your city street right here, actually?
This ash, this shows to be back up on the back side of the park by the railroad track, where they're showing ash
Because
So,
by your,
this is,
on the back side.
Yeah.
Highway 81 right here. This right here is showing Ash Circle. Her map is showing Ash Avenue, my friend right here, and that's where the street are for that creek line.
Yeah, that's what makes
This is an Ash Circle, and then these two roads are in
This,
there.
this to me would be an easement,
This is a
and
continuation of
this
Second
would
Street.
be, this would be a road, and this would be a road, if you did so chose.
It should just say
That's what I
and that might be a
That's
road
all I was
in
asking
between.
for.
what I need in order to stop that.
Because
That's more like an
We
alley.
and she needs it as well, so she knows
But these are all single family.
for clarification to end that discussion.
So what's
One way or
right, what's
another.
wrong?
I don't know.
Yeah, which one's right?
going left always.
Isn't that for the landowner?
I mean, wouldn't gravel drive?
He seems to think because it shows on a flat to be, ash circle in there, that it's a city street, which is, I think, why he originally came forward and said, hey, can you guys?
Ash Circle goes right across his property,
Yep.
town streets would not be on someone's property.
I agree. I agree.
All right, Tom?
It's right in the middle of his property.
If it's his property, it's not city street.
Those streets
Period.
couldn't, but like
The
Third
only
Street
thing
over
you
here
could
this way.
maybe do is that
That
Second
Second
Street
Street.
that runs in.
And it
Yeah.
only goes part way back.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
third,
And then what?
Third-
That's
Third-
already
Third-
paved, that's
Yeah,
already
what's in
paved.
between, is that an alleyway, or is that?
To me, that's an alley,
Which one?
or an easement of some
In
kind.
between the two properties, there's probably two different flats.
It's an easement.
Or-
Yeah.
an easement there, there's gas lines or something running through there,
Yeah.
ain't there?
Creek.
This little corner here was bought at a different time. This frontage where that one mobile home was sitting under by itself, you will remember Don Mitchell for a while.
Yeah, I
That was
think
the
it's
only-
right there.
oh, you're right. That was the only little piece that was separate than the rest of the trailer park. It was
Does he
later.
know if his property lines are on, is it two separate properties on his deed?
It's all one now. It's been put back together. But it was purchased in like 3 different pieces back in the day.
He needs to get it, I mean, if he, I mean,
Then you gotta
he needs
see
to
the plat.
get it surveyed.
Yeah, and then we got that.
You have a plat, where it's been platted.
So where do his pins say that he owns and we own?
His only question is, are we responsible for paving that, or is it on him? I kinda talked to him a few weeks ago when I first come across this. He said, well, if you got something proven that it's, not yours, then I guess I'll have to live with it.
Thomas,
But
in the
if
middle of
that's-
his, I'm gonna see if you can see this. This is the question. Right
Yeah.
here where it says Ash Circle, right in the middle of his property.
Yeah.
He's wondering if we're responsible for maintaining that road.
That's on the property of the owner, or the owner of the trailer park.
Okay.
That's on his property.
So it's always been,
Yeah.
yeah, it was never a question of the matter.
Second Street, I can
Second
see,
Street would say.
I can see, but not
I
the
believe
rest of
Second
that.
Street's ours, but it was.
Ash Street could even line up with the original street that used to come into Union City
Yep,
along the railroad track.
yeah. The way it circles in. So in your opinion, if Second Street is a city street, because that's kind of.
But it's nothing more than an opinion, I mean, he's gonna have land deeds, and
Yeah.
property markers and all of that, and
Yeah.
he would need to get
He
a
needs
survey
to
and
have-
mark and all that stuff,
Yeah,
and then.
I mean, if he wants to bring all that up here, I'd love to.
Bring it forward.
Yeah.
And he wasn't ugly about it, at least that day when I talked to him.
Yeah. I mean,
I just need clarification. I don't wanna keep going back and forth with
I
him.
mean, we can make
About what's
assumptions all
what.
day long, it's
Right.
what's on his land deed and where his property lines are at and all of that, that's
And
what.
I never knew any of those within there to be a double street.
yeah. And, I mean, I'm assuming he just has to go to county, get his land deed, right?
And everything that I find is there.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, that's, I think that's where we start the conversation.
Okay. And if he wants to come back with it, then we'll put
Yeah.
it back on there. You good with that?
I'm good with anything.
That answer, but
I
does
know-
but does that give you the answer that you need for now? Or not?
I have no direction from this board if that's yours or not, so if at some point you decide that that is a town road that needs to be maintained, then I just need to be made aware of that, either with some kind of document or in your board minutes or something.
All right,
Perfect. Yeah.
thank you.
You're not doing all that work.
Now,
are you?
who makes the
I
names on the
just
road?
go through everything that we have, because I wanted to know, but you couldn't throw on me. So that's
Like,
not-
who puts it on the map?
So, we had 911 addressing through the county that approves like road names when new roads are created, but they don't create those names.
Well, I'm saying who put
Here is
Yeah,
two,
yeah.
this is a road.
this little red
Yeah.
square
All
on
I'm
here?
on it, that shows
Yeah,
property
this is-
owners and what
this
the
is
road is,
now-
on that is where this is blown up from.
That's all that is.
It's from one of the original ones as well. don't know.
I just wanted Joel to see an aerial view because it does not line up exactly with.
And Lomax goes off of these.
So is Ash Circle,
Yeah,
was that
yeah.
just put there because that was what the first
That is what
property
it says
name
on
there
the
was?
ODOT, the ODOT map label that attached. Your plat map that you looked at was Ash Avenue. I don't know.
That's why, I was always confused in the past because you had trailer houses sticking out across this property line, sticking out across this property line, and going forward, and it can't be like that, it has to be land between the trailer, you need to be in the center of the property.
Yeah.
Not wherever he wants to put them, it's his property, I'm saying, it can't be, and the easements are in that road.
When they sit there, they probably didn't have any kind of
These are all out.
satellite photos.
Yeah, no, not at all.
I've seen anybody.
All right,
Nobody's curious.
table it. Department, you see, clerk treasurer.
You have my report, there's nothing exciting on it at all, but you're welcome to take it. The same stuff, we're not, everything's paid, everything's been billed, whatever, it's all good.
We're not throwing away any documents.
We're not doing anything Amazon-wise.
17A, bank account, public safety, limited use.
This is just asking for permission to open a bank account named Public Safety Limited Use. It's a tax that got approved and voted on. It's for the safety equipment.
Okay, I make a motion that we approve 17A. Do I have a second?
I'll second. And you're opening that bank first?
I'd
Yes,
open that
here.
thing over at Minco.
No, we wanna keep it here.
Alright, motion and second, all those in favor?
Aye. First I voted on like 17 things.
What?
So that's the first thing we voted on, the 17 items.
17B, Union City Park use agreement.
This, all the next ones, B through E.
Okay,
Same thing that was on the last one. I believe Tom agreed to take over a few things on that. So
oh, what'd you come up with the park stuff?
it's gonna be on him.
Those, has Michelle sent those to me, the revised ones?
Oh, was I supposed to revise something? I thought you were gonna
Yes.
take it.
Yeah, I might have to get
Something was,
Well, I can't see.
Michelle, I thought you were making some corrections on some of those, and you were gonna send the revised ones to me.
No, I didn't revise anything.
Okay.
No, it's okay. The main one that and Keith, you can help with this. The main one that is pressing at this point is going to be 17F.
It is, but, we just need to make sure, because we gotta get these agreements in place and the bank first advertising, because
Well, there was nothing
Yeah.
revised.
yeah, he was gonna look at that agreement and make
what was
changes to it.
supposed to be revised, Tom?
I'm sorry, say that again, Bob.
What was supposed to be
Yeah.
revised?
Yeah, you guys were gonna add, at least what I understood, were some specific things that the Booster Club was going to do, like on 17E,
Oh,
there was supposed to be some sort of, enumeration of who does what.
Yeah, I would agree with him on 17E. That one, they gotta come back to us with a list of what the prices and everything on, so we can table
We're gonna take
17E.
so we can table.
17E.
17D,
17D, Tom, is the one, that's the agreement that hopefully you already have, that
Yeah.
needs to be changed to where they're gonna do, $1,000 per year for 15 years.
yeah, that's the one that Michelle was gonna change the monthly, or the number of years on. Otherwise, that's fine.
Plus interest.
Right, I mean, they.
So do I need to revise that one?
Yeah, I guess
So you're saying,
instead, whatever's on it, change it to where it says $1,000 per year for 15 years.
Yeah, $1,000 per year
For
Yeah.
15
for
years.
15 years. And then I guess there was a
15 is
question
only
there.
Hey, can I ask a question?
Start.
Yeah.
I'm
That
just
ties
thinking out
back
loud.
into the scoreboard
Is that
agreement,
doing something within
and
one
that
year?
is, who's gonna pay
Is that good? Okay, I didn't know.
$22,791 over the 15. That's something the town's gonna take care of, the Booster Club's gonna take care of.
our understanding is the town is gonna pay the money for the scoreboards.
Right.
And then the bank will pay us $1,000 per year for 15 years to pay us back those scoreboards.
Correct.
And there is a difference of a little over 2,000, but at the end of their 15 years, they can either renew their advertisement, or it can go to somebody else.
Well, the school was gonna pay the extra 2,000 something, I remember.
Yeah, well,
That was the question.
Yeah, but
The
so-
school was gonna pay
yeah,
the additional amount.
and we can try to force that. Our problem now is this is taking so long to get everything done. And talking to the scoreboard company, the school is willing to pay for the freight also for the scoreboard to be shipped here and the installation. Getting us to approve the 15,000 and then getting the school board to approve the other 2,000 and some change, and then it has to come through on 2 different agreements and 2 different purchase orders. It was just kind of muddying up the waters to the point to where I personally think it's better if the town just pays the full 17,000 and some change. We get $15,000 back from Bank First, and then we can either renew it with Bank First after that 15 years, or the advertisement space can go to somebody new. and then the school covers the installation and freight for it to be shipped there.
That's fair, I mean, if that's the deal you wanna do.
That's what I'm
then
that's what I'm proposing.
Is that,
Well, is
is
the
that
school board gonna, or the school gonna agree with that?
Who's gonna pay the insurance on it?
Yeah, they'll have to, or the scoreboard will just stay sitting there.
How come the school will pay for it? That's what
That's my whole question, this whole thing, is
Yes.
that.
Where does $2,000 come from?
Huh?
Why 2,000? How come they like,
Oh, well,
10?
Cause that was all the bank was going up to.
That was over that 15,000.
Yeah, it was over the 15,000.
the total cost of the scoreboard is $17,391.
But,
17F, right?
And the school didn't want to invest money into a property that didn't belong to them.
so why don't they go invest their money in their own property and build their
Well,
own?
they can do that. If you wanna make them do that, they can do that, but, I mean, right now, kids just need a baseball field to play on. And that's the reason I have fought for this as long as I have. Is because it's a very unique situation, and I can't come up with any other creative solutions than what I've already come up with. Of getting the town to pay for the scoreboard and getting Bank First to reimburse for it. That's the close to a zero cost I've been able to get for this town. It's a unique situation where the town owns the land, they don't even wanna cover the insurance on it. We're gonna have to cover the insurance, and then we're gonna have to add that to the lease price for the
Right.
school to lease the ballpark. And to be honest with you guys, this extra $2,000, like, it would even be of my idea to, any extra expenses that this town incurs here, we add it into the lease price to the school, and the school's gonna have to pay that lease price. If not, they don't, I mean, at the end of the day, they don't have a field to play on. If we don't lease them that field, they don't have a baseball season. And I don't wanna see that, I mean, that's not right for the kids who are caught in the middle of this
No,
mess, but.
but for me, my frustration is we are 50th in education.
Mhm.
50th,
Oh, yeah.
across the country.
Mhm.
And 1,000% of every one of these schools, UNC, Mango, El Reno, doesn't matter which one you go to, their entire focus is on sports. Sports. Well, if we're gonna focus all this money on sports, shouldn't you focus it on some of the places where you're playing,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't go up there and play
I mean, here's the thing, the school's not spending any money on that, there are booster club members and dads of those kids that are playing on that team that have paid for paint, they have paid for, batting cages, they have paid for supplies, they have paid for, sprinkler systems that are going in, they have paid for all the sod that went in, they brought in semi-truckloads of dirt, and the parents and the booster club members, which are basically the parents, have paid for all of that stuff, and all of that money and all that went into that field that doesn't belong to them either, it's just, they're trying to make a nice playing surface. So, there's a lot of people that have sacrificed, and it's a unique situation. I don't know any other creative way to get them a school board.
Well,
If we wanna make them get the board, then we just push it back, and we just tell them no, we vote, and it's a
That's
no.
where I'm kind
Yeah.
of wondering though, is they've invested, we've invested.
They've invested tens of thousands.
What, we invested the whole damn property.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But from what I understand of that property was donated to this town for baseball use, and at no charge to this town, and from the rumors that I hear, there was actually never even supposed to be charged an entry fee to any game that was played there, because it was all donated at no cost to the school or the town. But
I've never seen an agreement that says that.
Yeah.
It was built
If that exists,
1972.
that's something that I've never seen.
I'm going off of the stories I've been told by old timers in the community when I've fought through this huge mess of trying to figure out why we're in this entire situation to begin with, was that land was deeded to the town for baseball park use, and that no one should have to pay any entry fees. And I don't know at what point down the line, they said somewhere down the line, they were thinking somewhere in the 90s, they started charging for people to get in. The other frustration I have is, even at this point, right now, the money is collected by high school baseball kids. The cash then goes into an envelope that then goes by the head coach. The head coach then puts that in his vehicle and then transports that to only good Lord knows where, I'm assuming a bank account of some kind. There's no tickets that are handed out. The whole thing's a mess. As a dad who had a previous player that played there, we just wanted better facilities for our kids to play on, because we felt like that they deserved it, so we've all worked very, very hard to try to provide that to them. I have since transferred all of my kids to Nico schools, in order to get them the opportunity that I think my kids deserve. But at the end of the day, there's 45 kids that are utilizing that baseball field, and 100 parents and 4 coaches, and, they don't have a scoreboard.
So
where does the money go that they collect? from
I have
the
no
state?
idea.
They collect a lot of money,
Yeah.
government, he does, Rich does a lot of government.
I've questioned all those things, it's not my place at this
I
point.
was just curious.
I do
But-
have an honest, legit question from the town clerk side.
Mhm.
If you agree, first of all, you've gotta remember, we're gonna pay the 17,391, and we don't recoup that. We get it over a 15-year time span. We're constantly worried about losing money. We're constantly nitpicking at each budget, doing everything we can to make sure we're not losing money. So my thing is, that is something to keep in mind. We are not immediately recouping our money back.
I've been sitting on this board for 6 years, volunteering my time. There's other people in this room that have been doing the exact same thing. I can count on one hand the number of times that I've been able to give back in any way to members of this community. We give and we give and we give and we give on a government level. The park was the last major thing, and nobody on this board even voted on that unless Bob did. He would be the only one who would even come close to approve for the new equipment to go into Keeley Park. Other than that, we have been in here, in my opinion, taxing the public as a whole through every fee and, you know, price we possibly can, and we don't give back to this town. We don't. I mean, this is a very unique situation of, you know, the town owns the freaking land. The school doesn't wanna invest money into a land that they don't own at all. I mean, we can boot, technically the town can boot them from playing there at any given time.
Wait a minute. They're using the land. It's just like any other lease. When you go lease a piece of property, you can make improvements to that leasehold.
Yes.
So that you can use the property the way you wanna use it.
And I agree with you, Tom, and that's why I believe wholeheartedly that we should increase the lease price to the school to help recoup some of our costs, whether it's David's time or whoever's time it is. I'm 100% in agreement that we should recoup that money through the lease. We can charge that school, I think, a fair price is in order, but whatever price that this group of people in this room can come up with that we think we are out of pocket should be divided by 12 and billed to them monthly for the use of that ballpark. And that's what I believe.
I agree with that.
So I'm good with not losing any money on it at all,
I said
but.
a little while ago, and that is, you've got to enumerate what it is that each side, the lessor and the lessee, what they're gonna do and who's gonna pay for what.
We set that price, Tom. Where else are they gonna play baseball?
Okay, wait,
Okay.
because this is a part of what you're talking about too. Through history, they were supposed to have been paying a lease to us, and they've not.
Yeah,
So
but it was
here's-
$1.
Let me finish. $1 is still a dollar, Keith.
Yeah.
So, what happens if we go this route? We tell them, you're gonna pay us this amount of money per month, we're billing them, and they don't pay us. Because so far, through history, and yes, I have it in documentation, wait, let me finish. I have it to prove, they do not pay us. We have gone through mess after mess after mess with money with the school. They have proven through action that they don't care what we do.
But that's why we need, the lease agreement
So,
wasn't ever signed. We couldn't
my
even produce a signed copy of it, so
question
that's why we gotta
The
have the
lease
agreement.
agreement was signed.
By who?
I can pull the folder
Go
out.
pull it, cause no one's been able to produce that for me since I've been asking.
All right.
I can say to her point that they have a contract with the police department and they're not very timely.
Here's your folder.
If they're not, we cut them off, like that, I mean, we have the right, every
All
right
the
to do that.
documents are there
For what? Where?
to show you, they're all labeled, well, I don't have time for it either. I've built that folder, I've read through every paper in there. I have employees who've watched me struggle over that. I can tell you
And did
for
you
a
find a
fact.
signed copy? Cause you're the one that specifically told me there wasn't a signed copy.
Right there, it's right there, they're all in there.
Through the bag.
My
through the
point,
bag.
that's neither here nor there. My question is what if they decide not to pay?
Then we lock the gates and don't give them access.
And then we pay for a scoreboard that's not gonna be used anyway. And we dished out money that we could be using elsewhere for this town. So,
Where do we
how about
use
the employees? Let's start there.
I'll tell you what, we pay for a scoreboard, they don't pay them to close the gates, I promise you, there's somebody that pay us to use it for a turn.
Yeah.
Okay, so that was my
Guaranteed.
basic question.
I can
That's
tell you two people
all
right
I
off the top of
wanted
my
to
head
know
that would jump on it.
from the town clerk side. It it is my duty to ask these things.
Absolutely.
And that's all I'm doing, is asking, what are we gonna do when they decide
But
not
the
to
next
pay,
question is,
because they
what
haven't
budget's it
paid.
gonna come out of?
It's
I
gonna
personally think it should
capital
come from the
improvement.
capital improvement fund.
And
That's what that fund's set up
here's
for.
why it's gonna come from capital improvement, because none of us are budgeted for that. So if we decide to do it, the only option we have is capital improvement. The capital improvement was being set aside for as long as I can remember to provide for these departments here to have a better facility.
No, I mean, yes and no, but that
Yes.
capital improvement formula is capital improvement.
I get
That
that,
includes,
Steve.
I mean, if we wanna
But
go
you
stick in a
can't-
brand new park over there, that budget could be
You
used for
can't
that.
sit here and tell me that that's not what we've discussed previously, is what capital improvement
Yeah,
was.
that's what we've been trying to
Okay,
save up for.
but now we're gonna say we saved up so we could do a
Because we have a group of 100 citizens that need to
That's
utilize a
okay.
ballpark that don't have a scoreboard. Like, how hard is that for you guys to
I'm sorry they don't
understand?
have a working scoreboard, but it is my job to ask the questions I'm asking, whether you like it or not, it is my duty. It's what I'm here for. These are facts that I'm putting on the table. It's not my personal opinion, it's facts. And I want it to be very clear before a decision is made that these are the facts. These are things that need to be presented and looked at.
But, and if we need to go back and add, if the school's not paying a bill on time, then there's late fees or other things that we can add and put in place to penalize them for that. They have to pay their bills on time, just like anybody else does. Adam has real costs associated with sticking an officer inside that building and doing that. If they're not helping pay that cost, then we pull the service, or we charge them late fees, or we do something. This is the first time I've heard about them not paying their bills on time.
I'm not even discussing
I
that
know,
part
but it
of
was
it.
part of it,
I'm
though.
going
just
off
saying,
of what I
you're
know
claiming
for
that they don't
fact.
pay their bills and do things on time, it's the first I'm hearing
I'm
it. So if they're not paying their bills on
I'm
time,
going off
why
of
what other
documentation.
bills are they not paying on time?
I am going
We're
off
good.
of documentation.
David, all you do is mow over there, right? You don't take care of the ball field part.
So, we do everything but the ball.
Right.
You know,
So you don't maintain that ball field period.
No. Every now and then, might weed it for him, but no,
Help out a little bit.
he mows it and does everything himself on the actual field,
Okay.
other than we did paint it for him.
And how much are we charging to paint it?
Their bid was $4,000, and I told them I'd do it, took us an hour and a half with my maintenance, so.
They paid for all the supplies.
They paid for the paint, and then I paid for it.
Okay,
By the way, I
once
painted
again, you know,
it.
scoreboard, but if we're gonna do this, you know, I've got my own reservations everywhere, all the way around. Like Bank First, Tennessee gives $1,000 per year.
That's the most that JP could come up with
And did they,
But
per year.
if
think,
I
as
went
far
to
as his
him
budget.
and said, I need to borrow $15,000, will he be able to find it? Oh, you bet your butt he'll find it.
Hey, you're welcome to call him up. I'm just.
I don't
I'm
even
just
need to
saying,
call him, but I've got a problem with the fact that they wanna give us $1,000 for,
according to the sign company, when we talked to them directly, people were paying between $1,000 and $1,200 per year for a space that size on most of your high school scoreboards. And that price fluctuated. Some of them were actually cheaper in the smaller communities. But most of them, for a towns larger than ours, were $1,000 to $1,200 a year. Huh?
also I needed to know, why are we in the middle of that? Why isn't that?
I took it upon myself because I was asked to, because I'm on the board and because at the time I was on the booster club and I was helping with trying to make park improvements over there out of our own pockets. And we were doing lots of things out of our own pockets. We were bringing tractors up there of our own and we were spreading dirt and doing all the things that we were doing. I took it upon, they asked me, Keith, since you're on the board, can you help us between the school and the board and between the booster club to help facilitate all this, to try to figure out a way to get a scoreboard for those kids? That's why I took it on.
No,
I want out of this faster than any of you guys do. I'm done dealing with it. Like, I'm not getting paid for any of this. I don't have kids that
That
even
wasn't
go
my
there
question.
anymore. Go ahead. No, I'm frustrated.
I
This
get
is-
you're
this is going on
frustrated,
way
but
too
there's
long.
no reason for it. If we're just basically having a
You're
meeting.
against it and you know you're against it.
I've never said I was
Yeah,
for it.
yeah.
But I'm not.
That's her opinion.
Yes,
I-
yes,
that's
but she
my-
fought the process the whole way because she's against it.
I fought it because I'm the town clerk, and it's my job to ask this stuff. But the question I wanted to know, and others wanted to know, is why is the bank why isn't the bank just directly working with the?
Because again, we will own the scoreboard and we own the property. So we're gonna let them collect the $1,000 a year for something that we own?
At the end of the day, we own everything.
We own everything over there, that's the whole point of
So
this.
then my next question is, when we make a decision on this.
They couldn't get insurance for it because they don't own it.
Are we making decisions with contracts involved? Meaning, has the bank given Tom a contract saying they're going to do this?
That's what Tom's writing up. That's what you're supposed to edit, he's supposed to write, and then JP will sign it, the president of Bank First will sign it.
So. No, we're waiting on Tom. Right, you're waiting on
Yeah,
Tom.
you're gonna have to make the edits, if you're gonna go there, and you'll send it to him, and then he will edit it, and then JP will sign it.
Alright, so let's start there, we're gonna have to, do we table this deal, Tom, or what do we do?
Well, I think if you wanna go ahead with the scoreboard, you can do that one, but again, each of these has to be revised for what the deal is. Let me tell you, the frustration that I've had is that I've never spoken with anybody from the school board about this. I've not had any contact, and I was assured when we started this, that somebody from the school board would be school board would be in touch.
Their attorney should have been, yes.
I'm trying not to lose you, Tom, I sent Adam to go get us a charger.
Oh, you're running out of juice, is that what it is?
So, I have a question for Tom. So the contracts that I already turned into you need to be revised, correct?
Yes.
Okay, I got it. I just wanted to make sure I was clear on, we were talking about the ones I've already done,
And-
not the original.
And I also want on the record,
Yeah.
when we dug into this, and I found out there was no agreement.
If you wanna call me on Wednesday in the afternoon, and let's go through these one by one, and get them all straight.
Okay, will do. Thanks, Tom.
He's gonna get your guard shirt real quick.
Look at that, Don, you're putting you on life support, bud.
Oh my God.
Alright,
Okay.
we're charging at 1%. Yeah.
Perfect.
Oh, okay, 'cause all I saw was a big A.
Yeah, well, I mean, people call me a lot of things, Tom. Anyways, so we can go ahead with this scoreboard, right?
Buy the scoreboard, just buy the scoreboard.
Okay, buy the scoreboard.
And I reviewed that agreement and it's fine.
Okay. So, which one is that?
It's 17F, I think.
Electronic order.
Alright, Daktronics order agreement, I make a motion that we approve the purchase of $17,391 for the softball, baseball scoreboard to include console kit, communicator, receiver, glove, clip, display, shipping, a 5-year warranty for parts only.
I'll second it.
I have a second, alright, motion second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
No.
Motion approved. Alright, we got a scoreboard, get it done.
And capital equipment, I'll get you in contact, with who you need to send the purchase order to.
As for the rest of it, we spent all we're spending on it this year. Let's figure out all the.
Michelle and I will talk about them on Wednesday afternoon.
Yeah, and I want it to be clear, like, whatever prices we're gonna have to spend to insure all those structures, including the scoreboard.
Yeah.
Any pricing that we're not gonna get back through advertising, all of that, in my opinion, we should be able to put into the lease price of the ballpark, and then we
Keith,
build,
I agree with
we
that,
build a
but
school.
the question, the nut cutting's gonna come, are they gonna pay that?
They don't have a choice, or we lock the gate.
Well, okay.
I mean, it's a tough
As long as they
conversation,
know
it's a
that.
tough conversation, but I mean, it's real.
Sue, I was talking to Michelle about that, and the insurance person actually sent me an email asking what we wanted, and of course, I will get with everybody before I do that. But just thinking out loud, my 2 cents is, if you took the ballpark away, right? And it's not there anymore. Anything related that's not there, anything that's left, we should insure on our own, in other words. Does that make sense? The playground equipment, because we would do that regardless if it was a ball field or not. Including the concession stand, actually, because it's ours, we built it, we would have it if the ballpark was gone or not.
Correct.
Yeah,
And then we should bill them for like the lights,
Bleachers.
you know, whatever what it need to be there.
If
Is
it's
that
the
something?
dugouts, the bleachers, the lights, the fences.
Right, you know, things that,
Yeah.
But
And the backdrop building, all that should be, that's
when I
correct.
spoke
Okay.
with them about insuring, they also advised me that the bathrooms are technically not insured because they are inside the concession stand of which we've insured. So we will have to insure the bathrooms separately from the concession stand.
Right. But what he's saying is those bathrooms would be there whether they were leased in that ballpark or not.
Right.
So, all right,
But I do want to see insurance on all those things, because that's what got us in this situation to begin with, is nobody had an insurance on it with a fair deductible that made sense to even get it fixed or repaired.
all right, I'm tabling all the rest of 17s,
I agree.
we move on. Number 18, Department of Human Resources,
Nothing to report.
all right, no action. 19, Department of City Payroll,
Nothing to report.
no action. Department of UC Court Clerk,
She had to step out, you have her report.
all right, moving on. A, water bill prorate.
yeah. So, we had a customer stop their service and come in. Well, in the past, and I didn't know, I was just learning this, and so I told her what I think we should do, we can put it on here. Our system does not have a way to prorate, right? So that customer would get a full bill, and then, okay, say you live here we read the meter on 20th, right? So that particular person was there 11 days, and then I come move in, or you move in, whatever, and you're there for 19 days, or whatever it is. We're kind of both paying full bills, so, which really ain't right. So, it never came up, but my thinking was, it's pretty simple, I would think. Take the full bill, divide it by 30 times how many days they were there, and she can override it for that person that was there only 11 days, right? And then the next person comes in. Now, with that being said, depending on how much water they use, because you know, from 0 to 2,000 is the same amount, or, sorry, 1999 is the same amount. This particular person only uses 300, I don't remember.
Yeah.
But, so it'd be a minimum, and then the next person was also a minimum. So, that system does not allow us to do a prorate. It's like anything else, you take your
But-
electric off in the middle of the month, you only pay for however many days you have electric.
If you're paying for a minimum of 0 to 1999,
Right. But
how many homes actually use that much water?
2,000? About half.
Okay. How many of them use it in 11 days?
Probably not me.
Okay. But regardless, if they did, they'd have to pay it, right?
Well,
I mean, to me, it makes sense that both of them pay it.
well, the water, but then you get into sewer, trash, and all those other fees, where it's kind of doubling up.
What do you think, Tom?
I agree with you.
Yeah, I think
I
you
think
pay,
you
pay the
just-
final bill and
You pay for what you pay for, and,
So these ones-
I mean,
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, this is a totally different customer, so they're starting over. The
Right.
old one's paying.
And it's different, it's just this person was there 11 days, and they said, well, no, I have to pay a full bill.
Because you.
Because technically, if you think about it,
The contract.
the trash on the bill, that would be four dumps of the trash, and they only got one,
Yeah.
things like that.
But the reality is, like, I went and bought a car, and then 11 days later, I decided I didn't want it, let them repo it. They're still gonna send me for the rest of the price of the car,
Any idea what y'all do, right?
right?
right.
There's when people come up and they want to do that, I have to data log from the date that they left, and then, I don't know if she prorates it or not, I have no idea.
Well, we do, when they turn it off, we go and read it, stop the bill, you know, that's the final reading, then the new person starts at that reading.
Because what's happening now is that homeowners, or home builders are building homes, and the contractor
Let's meter in.
puts the meter in to brick it and all that stuff, and it's going to when they close on the house or something like that.
This is the first time it's come up, so that's why it's on there, we can continue the way it is,
If it comes up again, we'll talk about it.
as of now, it's cool.
Yeah, I mean,
You brought it to me, so that's why I brought you up.
yeah, I
You
mean,
wanna hear it right.
you jump in the middle of a contract, you don't get out of it, you get to stay through the whole thing, you know?
I know, for instance, I've learned, like DirecTV for the stream, you know, if you cut it off, it don't stop till the end of the month, you know? But like, stop your electric bill, it does. So,
Yeah.
We used to-
What are the other towns around?
And there's nothing in our ordinance about it.
Yeah, I mean, there's not an ordinance to prorate, don't prorate that. All right, 21 executive action, no action. 21A, no action. 21B, no action. Number 22, Mayor and Trustee reports. Anybody have anything to report? I'd like to report that we're gonna get a new scoreboard. At the cost of the town.
I bet everybody put my name on it.
Right.
But there you are.
I would help the hand. All right, number 23, new business, any new business? No new business. Number 24, Ryan Dawson, no place catfishing.
No.
Oh, man.
Oh, you
Break the
broke
streak.
the mission?
Broke the streak.
Oh, man.
Let's do it right anyway.
Ryan, jump in.
I have a motion by Chad, I'll second it. Motion second, all those in favor? Aye. Motion
I
approved.
know,